Now can you hear me? There we go. So we start all over again. I feel like starting the whole freaking show all over. I got to tell you, today was the worst day. Anyway, live from Higher Top Hard Rock Sports Studios in beautiful Seaman Road, New Jersey. We are your 3-hour weekly get-together. We bring you all the biggest news from the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, of course, of sports. And thanks. Welcome to Thursday, July the 7th in our year of our Lord 2022. And I hope you guys had a great weekend, 4th of July. I hope everybody was safe, kept all their fingers and toes and all that good stuff. I had a nice weekend. Not great. Some family strife, which we will definitely not go into on this show. But I hope everybody out there is okay and had a good time. Nice short week of work. I got one more day. Weather's been great. Traffic's been light. Can't beat it if you got to go to work in the city every day. In the meantime, I watched a great show over the weekend. I was trying to tell you guys with the volume off. The Terminal List. Amazon Prime, the Terminal List. 8 episodes. Chris Pratt does a great job. He's a very angry Navy SEAL. I'm telling you, I recommend it highly. So, listen, we got to get to the show tonight. Let me get my notes out. I'll tell you, I am all screwed up today. I hate when work gets in the way of my fun. So anyway, guys, I hope you had a great week. We're going to get the show started. It is a big show for us tonight. We do a couple of shows every year. We have our Christmas show we do every year. We have our football training camp, which will coming up in a couple of weeks, which is also our anniversary show every year. So we'll be celebrating 8 years on the 28th, and we'll also do our football training camp show on the same day. But tonight is another show we do yearly, and it's our Happy Birthday, Jeff episode. And we got a couple of guests tonight. Now, our big guest did not come through, and I'm very pissed off. I worked my ass off, called in favors, and we got blown off. And I am not happy about it. I'm not going to tell anybody who the guest is. I'm not even going to tell Jeff. I will not tell anybody who the guest is. But I am very upset about this. This was going to be huge for us and for Jeff. This would have been definitely top 3 or 4 for Jeff if I had landed this person. I thought I did. I did all the right things, and it didn't happen. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring on the birthday boy. It's not really his birthday. His birthday is Sunday, but we're going to celebrate tonight. I got a couple videos to play. I did a whole video montage last night. Came out great, and for whatever reason, it disappeared. I tried to put it back together real quick. I couldn't do it. I'm going to finish it, and I will play it on our next week's show because I really had a fun time doing it. But let's get the show started. I'm going to do that by bringing on my buddy, the man of the hour. He's too sweet to be sour, and he's definitely the sexiest man on his side of the screen. He's the Pope, as he calls himself, and he's the birthday boy. Welcome to the Jeff Dolwinski birthday show. What's up, Hefe?
What's going on?
A little rough start, but we're up and running. Jeff, I'll ask the question. How was your week?
Finally over. Thank God.
Over?
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah, you had the whole holiday mix in there.
Yeah, I had to work the whole weekend and all this other shit. And, just when your vacation has started for me, so that's cool.
Oh, that's right. You're now on vacation for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Good for you. Now, how much longer will you be doing weekends? Is that through the summer or is that for good?
I don't know, but, I make extra money for the weekend, so I got to see. But it's still the idea that I got to work weekends. I hate working weekends. I don't mind doing Sundays, but it's Saturdays.
Yeah, and it takes away from time with your wife. I'm sure that's not always a good thing either.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes.
I want to show you something. Speaking of my wife that she got me, she told me I have to wear it today.
Okay, what is it that you're wearing? We see something with a ribbon on it. I can't say anything else.
It says birthday boy.
Okay. Well, you are the birthday boy. I'm looking forward to spending some time with you and your wife this weekend. We're going to be getting together.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Speak to her about what to bring. I told her to tell you not to bring anything.
All right. Well, I reached out to her about something else. I'll reach out to her again. But in the meantime, we're looking forward to coming out, spending some time with you and your lovely wife and hanging out. So that'll be this weekend. But in the meantime, we got a show to do. I got a few videos to play. I'm going to play one since Mike is up on the air here. I'm going to play a video now and then get my dad on. And he's come on this week, even though he was supposed to be away. I think he stayed around just to celebrate your birthday, if I'm not mistaken. So let me play the video first, Jeff, and then we'll get my dad on. Ready?
Okay.
What is going on? Mike, a.k.a. the Hemp Wizard, and
Joey Kush
from Hemp Wizard Beard Care Co., and we just want to wish our good buddy Jeff a happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. These guys are great products. They get their stuff delivered to you in a timely fashion. Stand behind these guys. We stand behind these guys. These are great people. First of all, great people, good friends, without a doubt, man. We are glad that we met you guys. Mike, you post some of the funniest shit all day long, and for me to say that's big, all right? Big. But the two gentlemen, man, two absolute gentlemen. Thank you for being here with us.
I threw the request up to the guys, and within minutes, I had a little video wishing you a happy birthday. So I'm glad that Mike and Joe over at Hemp Wizard Beard Care Co. Again, like Jeff said, we haven't met them. We only know them a short time. But two nicer guys you couldn't ask for, and we totally Hard Rocket Sports stands behind our friends at Hemp Wizard Beard Care Co.
Definitely, without a doubt. Definitely. Thank you, Joe.
There you go.
Thank you both, man. I saw the video, Joe. It was great.
So we got some more videos to play. I got one special one to play. We'll do it right after my dad. We got a couple of guests coming up at 7:30. So we'll get we'll play the video. Again, I did a whole montage Jeff video. Came out freaking awesome. I was so happy. I saved it, and now it's just basically disappeared. So I got to find it.
It's got to be there somewhere.
I'll find it, and then I will definitely play it on next week's show, and I'll send it to Jeff privately if I can. But let's get my dad on, and let's see what he's got to talk about this week. Lots of going on in sports, guys. We got Baker Mayfield finally gets traded. The Yankees are smoking at this point. Judge. A little bit of a lower back strain, but hey, kicking it last night. 16 runs for the Yankees last night. The Mets are playing decent ball again. We got so much. We got some to talk about tonight. I would tell you that this might not be the longest show we've ever done, but we'll have some fun, and we'll have some friends on in a little bit, and we'll play some videos. Let's start with my dad, who always wants to check in, and let's see what he's up to. What's up, Pop?
Hello, Jeff. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you, Mr. Florio. How are you?
I know you're Sunday, bud. I canceled my trip to wish you a happy birthday. All right? I'm just going to I don't know if you're aware that today James Caan died.
Yes, I did want to bring that up. I have it in my notes. Go ahead.
I liked him as an actor, as a man, as a person. I had a lot of respect for him. And I remember an interview he did with Michael Kay, and it was the funniest thing I heard. He said they keep making me Italian of the year, and I keep telling them I'm not Italian. I'm Jewish.
Listen, the way he played that part in The Godfather,
he
went from Jewish to Italian that day, without a doubt.
He said I went there to get the award, and I told him, they said, you're the Italian of the year. He said, but I'm Jewish. But he said, I'll take it anyway.
Listen, you'd have a hard time thinking of anybody else who could have played that part. The only regret I have is that he wasn't in the movie longer, Jeff.
Yeah, I definitely agree to that. Unfortunately, there's probably extra footage of him around someplace, and
I'm sure
at this point in time, we probably will never get to see it. But he played a great part, even though he wasn't on for very long, and that one scene was absolutely legendary. Two scenes, the toll booth scene and when he caught his brother-in-law.
Oh, he beat the crap out of him.
Man, just unbelievable scenes, man.
A lot of that he said was ad-libbed. A lot of it, when he was with Michael and they were discussing killing the captain. A lot of that, the bada beep, bada boop, he ad-libbed that. And it was good. I enjoyed it.
I would have sat down and just watched them and listened to them talk about what they were going to get for lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, James Caan, the rest of them, the whole entire cast. It's just, wow.
And he really didn't make a lot of money. He said he only made $35,000 for that movie.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, he said that's all he made.
Well, don't forget, they were. If you watch, there's a I won't call it a documentary. There's a movie that they've done on, I think it's on Netflix, but it could be on Amazon Prime, called The Offer, and it's all about the making of The Godfather. I've gone through some of it so far. I haven't watched it all. It's kind of slow, But basically, up until that point, they didn't want to make it. Then the gangsters got in the way. They didn't want them to make the movie. It was a whole bunch of crazy stuff, and basically they had no budget to make it. So definitely a classic of all time. And
supposedly the guy Carlo, who everybody disliked, and he was the guy that had the connection.
Yes,
to Frank Costello.
Well, he was. Remember when was it Costello who got shot at? Was it Costello who got shot at at the Italian American Festival?
That was Colombo.
Colombo. He was supposed to be there. That's Gianni Rizzi. I've tried to get him on the show because he tells some stories, boy, about Marilyn Monroe and the Kennedys. Like, this guy's got either he knows some stuff that nobody else knows, or he's completely lunatic.
I don't know how much that
Johnny Russo, you mean, right?
Right.
Johnny Russo, yes.
Yeah. He used to sing at the feast in Roseneck every year.
Well, listen, I know you guys got things to do. You're ready for a show, everything. Jeff, just wish you were like a son, no matter what. Whatever you think, even if you thought I wanted to hit you with a belt.
Maybe you should have. Maybe I'd be in a better shape today. I don't know.
But wish you many, many more to you and your family. And Tommy, I hope to see you this weekend.
Yeah, I'll definitely see you over the weekend, Pop.
All right, good enough, guys. Take care now.
I'll see you soon.
All right, Pops.
All right.
See you later. That's my dad. Checks in every week. He wanted to make sure that he got on tonight to say happy birthday to Jeff. So I'm glad he was able to do it.
He's a good man.
He's funny. He falls a crack up. But yeah, Jeff, James Caan died. And, I was trying to think of another movie that I would say I watched with James Caan that I thought was a great, great movie. I saw Brian's Song, the story of Brian Piccolo. It was a good movie. I just not one of those movies I go watch a bunch of times. I never saw Rollerball. Did you ever see Rollerball?
No, I did not. And if I did, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
The only other movie that I seen with him, it was the one where he was held hostage, which now I can't.
Oh,
think
Misery.
Yeah, which was.
I never saw that one.
You never saw that one?
No.
Oh my God, dude! I can't even talk about that movie because it's a very suspenseful movie. If I talk about any part of that movie, it's going to ruin it for you.
Okay.
All I could say is that this is definitely a movie that you need to sit and watch. I don't believe it's a very long movie.
Okay.
Once the movie gets going, you're not going to believe what happened. You're going to be like, every turn, you'll be like, holy shit. And the one scene that when you see it, you're going to be like, oh my God. But
yeah, I know of the movie. I know of parts of it. I've seen scenes of it. I just never sat down. I know the theory behind it. I've just never have watched the entire movie. I've never watched the movie. So
it's the little things in that movie that like there's one scene where she realizes that he got out of the room, but yet he's trying to figure out like how did you know that I got out of the room?
Right.
And she says to him, I have a penguin outside. The penguin faces due east or whatever direction. And it was turned around and now was facing due west. The penguin never faces due west. The penguin always faces due east. And then she just kind of like she would just snap, do shit, and then all of a sudden everything's okay again. And then it was just unbelievable. If you get the chance to ever check it out, you got to check it out.
I will put it on the list of things to watch. Like I told everybody, Terminal List. If you get a chance to watch the Terminal List on Amazon Prime, Chris Pratt is amazing. A little slow to start, but after about the second episode, you'll love it. So yeah, I highly recommend the Terminal List. But as far as James Caan was, I was trying to come up with another one that I thought was good and I would recommend. And I didn't like. A lot of people love Elf. I didn't care for Elf all that much.
Is that with Will Ferrell?
Yeah, I just have a problem with Will Ferrell. Yeah.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
Yeah, me too. So again, I'm stuck with The Godfather, and then after that, I just couldn't come up with another James Caan movie that I would say you got to go out and watch it. Now I'm sure there's something out there that I'm just not remembering. So, but I never saw Rollerball, so I can't put that one in there. So, but yeah, Joe, watch the Terminal List if you got time on a weekend or during the week and you want to watch something 8 episodes, an hour each. Great show. Great. I can't even tell you how good it was.
Did you ever see Chernobyl? I know
No.
it has nothing to do with James Caan, but that's one you got to check out if you get the chance, man. Check out Chernobyl. That's pretty sick. First of all, read up a little bit about Chernobyl first.
Okay.
And everything that is in the movie is real.
Okay.
Like it's all based. It's not like somebody said, "Okay, let's make this movie." It's all based on fact.
Okay.
And it's just unbelievable. The actors that they get to play the people, because you don't know who these people were.
Yeah.
They look just like the people that were there, and like the scientists and everything else.
Oh, wow.
They spent millions of dollars on old Russian vehicles so that they can make it as authentic as possible. I remember watching like 2-3 years ago. It was a great fucking movie, man. Oh, it's only fun. It's a mini series, but a 5-parter. It's great.
I'll check it out. And Joe, I tried to watch Ozark. It just didn't capture me. That's, if I'm not mistaken, Ozark. That's with Bateman, right? Is that with not Justine Bateman, the brother?
Justin Bateman, right?
No, I don't think it's Justin. Justine is the sister.
Justine is the sister. Justin Bateman is the brother.
Yes. I tried to watch it. A little creepy. I got through the first 2 episodes and I never went back to it. So always looking for good stuff to watch. So I never take any more recommendation from my kids. They have the worst taste in music, movies
and music.
And music too. But that's a whole different.
How did your son make out with that thing that he wanted to do? I totally forgot.
Again, he never brought it up again, and I guess I forgot that you forgot. So I don't know.
Oh, great.
So, so as far as I know, it's just sitting out there right now. So if you think about it next week, you can let me know. If not, no worries. He hasn't asked me for anything. But so we're celebrating Jeff's birthday tonight. And again, it's not for real till Sunday, but I want to do it with the show. And I had a guest of all guests. And
you going to tell us who it was?
Nope, I'm never going to tell you who it was because you'll be Jason Bateman. That's it. Thank you, Pep Wizard.
What am I going to do? Throw a hissy fit?
No, it bothers me to no end
was he a musician or a sports figure?
Musician. Yeah, and that's it. I'm not anything more. You'll start to get it. So.
It wasn't Tony Iommi. Thank you, Leonard. It wasn't Tony Iommi, was it?
No, it wasn't Iommi. No Sabbath guys. But
would he play guitar, bass, drums?
I'm not telling you anymore. So I reached out to friends, let's say, and they played intermediary. I filled out. I sent emails, text messages. I followed every rule. It was like trying to hire the A-team. You go to see Mr. Lee at the cleaners, and they send you to the coffee shop, and then you go to the pier. And I did all the stuff. I picked up all the trails and all the hints, and then I got stonewalled and got just pushed aside. And I'm not happy about it.
You're gonna have to tell me.
No, I can't.
One day you're gonna have to tell me.
Maybe someday.
I gotta find out.
When I'm healed again, I'll tell you. I'm not.
Well, heal fast. Go get some Neosporin. Matter of fact, here you go to heal that pain. Shit.
Hey, Leonard, how are you, pal? Thanks for stopping by. I wish Jeff a happy birthday. And again, thanks, guys. We appreciate everybody doing that each week, and we'll have some fun. I got a video to play, which I'm holding on to for another minute. I got a couple more videos, and we'll do some reminiscing. Let me ask you this question, Jeff. It's a good time to do it with being at your birthday. What is, when you think of our friendship, what's the first earliest memory you have of us?
Well, I remember the exact day we met.
Okay, so do I. We're at Brusco's house.
Brusco's backyard. Yes. We were either playing wiffle ball or football. I don't remember.
I believe it was football. Yes.
And I remember playing in his backyard, and Jerry was like, "This is Tommy," and then me and you started getting along like instantly.
Yes.
And way better than you and him would get along.
Yes.
And listen, Jerry was Jerry.
Yeah, still is.
All of these years later, I see that we are common friends with him on another platform.
Oh, are we really?
Instagram.
Oh, I didn't even know. I take you. I haven't been on Instagram in years, to be honest with you.
Well, I seen him like something of yours.
Or really?
Sports or whatever. And I mean, listen, he never. He likes, no matter what I put up, he likes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't put up much or anything at all, and he's never tried to reach out to me and talk to me. Last time I spoke to him was sometime in I think 2007, and we were trying to get everybody together, and he was like the missing piece, and I'm still waiting for him to call me back. But you know what? At this point in time, it's what difference. I'm not worried about it. If it was ever called me, I would talk to him.
Sure. I never had a problem with the guy, to be honest with you, and I tried to have to maintain a friendship with him for a while. We had gotten to the point where he was basically living in my house. I mean, literally when I was just married, and for the first few years, I mean, we worked together, we played ball together. When we weren't playing ball, he was over watching ball. All the time we hung out. And then I went to go work for the city, and that was the last day I ever saw him. Like, he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Listen, I mean, when your own brother says something about you, what I mean?
No, listen, we're never surprised by that. Jerry chased the tail, so to speak, and he was if he got a girlfriend, you never saw him again. So that was Jerry's deal.
It's always better to be seen with a pretty girl than a bunch of ugly guys. But
agreed. But you still got to make a little
balance there a little bit,
Yeah, exactly. So, but yes, that's where Jeff I met. That was sometime about February of 1980.
No. It was look who it is.
Yeah, Mrs. Talwinski.
There you go. And I don't know, Sharon. I don't know if you see him wearing the pin.
He's wearing the pin, Sharon. We will have a good show. Hey, Sharon, you can respond off the air, but please tell me what my wife and I can bring for this weekend. So we're going to do something. So let me know what it is you'd like us to bring.
And we met. It was in September.
Was it September?
Yes, it was September. I'll tell you what it was. It was September of 1981.
Okay.
You and Jerry had just started high school. I was already in my second year. I was a sophomore. We were playing. Actually fucking around more so than anything in his backyard.
Yep.
And when we were playing football, and I remember you had some McKee gear when you were on McKee jersey.
Probably, yep. I played football freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah. And we were in the back and we were fucking around. But I got to stray for a second. As far as Brusco's backyard goes,
go ahead.
I used to love to play wiffle ball there.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Because of the short porch, so to speak.
Yes, it had the short porch. Yes, it's very true. His backyard was soft, was a wiffle ball. We could play football back there. And I'm trying to think what else we did back there. Besides drink, I remember that was one of the first places I had to drink.
Take stuff.
Yeah, take stuff, of course. That's good. Listen, you know what? For a bunch of guys who hung out on one block most of our life, we got a lot accomplished over there.
I don't know if you're ever on the island, if you ever take a cruise up that block, if you would even recognize it anymore.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Has it changed that much?
Parking only on one side of the block.
Well, which is probably a good thing because it was
not when there's back when we were living there, when I was living there.
Yeah.
There was less cars. Now there's like 75 million cars on one side.
Oh boy!
And it's dirty. It's nasty.
Are all the houses still there that were there?
Yeah, except for a couple of houses that were next to Kayaz's. A couple of those were cleared out and new houses were built. Kayaz's are all gone. I heard Pat died. John died.
Yeah, I know Pat died.
I don't know if there's any Kayaz's left.
Were there other Kayaz's beside the two of them? I know they had parents.
Dave, Mike, John, Pat, and there was James, I think.
Oh, wow.
I think his name was James. One of them, I don't want to say on the air how I think he died, but I heard he killed himself.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how true that was.
Okay.
Mike, I don't know where Mike is. I haven't seen Mike. I used to work with Mike in Pathmark. Dave used to work for Pathmark. And then one day vanished. I haven't seen Dave since. We all know John.
Yeah.
And we all knew Pat.
Sure.
And then one day my mother told me, we heard Pat Kayaza died. And I had to ask Christine Pepe, because whenever I went by there, I would always see Pat got remarried for like the second, third, fourth time, whatever it was. And I saw his wife's truck there all the time.
Uh-huh.
But I used to see Pat by accident in Rosebank all the time, walking around and everything. and I don't know what happened to them. And you know, these are people that, you know, they were a little wacky and everything, but these were people you would see almost all the time. And
Sure.
I just would love to know, like, what happened to Pat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, the one that I always remember about Pat, he had a really cool record collection.
Yeah, yes, he did.
You know,
yes, he did.
Probably the first time I got turned on to like Vanilla Fudge and some of those other bands that I had never heard of before. You know, going from listening to Blondie and the Cars to Maiden and Priest, I kind of jumped over the shark of, you know, those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leonard, I'd love to do that. We'll catch up with you over at Bella Beans and reminisce about the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a shame, man.
Yeah.
It has changed a little bit.
No, you know, the neighborhood's the same. The people are gone. That's just the bottom line. The people are gone.
Yeah.
We grew up. You know, seeing hanging on the corners, or you know, the Dave Casses of the world, and the people. That you know you would see. You would see down at the Kaltemeyers, you know, waiting to get into a game, or stand in front of Danny O's Pizzeria on a Friday or Saturday night, where you would see Mike Pepe and Christine Pepe and that whole crowd, you know, out there. So
you know, it's amazing now because I used to like to go through Rosebank in the summertime when it's hot. I don't know why. It just, I remember always, like, because we were off in the heat and everything else, and you know, playing football and basketball and softball all day long.
Yeah.
And when I go down there, like it still feels like the same heat from when I was a kid, hot and, you know, just like still air. But like, even if you wanted to just walk up and down a block, it's so different, so completely different, you know. It really is a shame, man.
Yeah, it's just the faces are gone. You know, when you were a kid, when I walked to your house, I took the same route, and you see the same faces. You know, whether it was somebody's grandmother or parents or somebody you knew, and it was the same faces for years. And then one day you go down there, and it's like there's a whole different crowd in that spot, and it's just not the same anymore. I've done it. I've done the cruise through the neighborhood and check out some of the old places we used to hang out. And I'm like, wow, how different is this? Or what happened to that guy? So, you know, but first of our guests who's showing up, waiting on one more. In the meantime, I want to play your video, Jeff. You got a video from, I would say, somebody from one of your favorite bands has made you a video, and I'm going to play it for you right now.
Okay.
All right. And then we'll get to a couple of guys that we're friends with. So hold on one second.
I'm anxiously waiting to see who this is.
Yes, hold on.
Hey, what do you say? This is Bobby Blitz from Overkill. That's right. And welcome to the Hard Rockin' Sports Show. This has been going on with two friends, Jeff and Tommy. You know it, and I know it. It's all about sports. It's all about the hard rock. It's all about the metal. It's all about Jeff Space playing. And it's all about Jeff being a Jets fan. Now, let me tell you something. The only green in New Jersey that's worth a damn is my green. That's Overkill. It's like a mixed marriage between you and Tommy, a Jets fan and a Giants fan. And every year, the Jets get everybody pumped up, and then halfway through the fucking season, they rip the heart of their fans out. So expect more of the same in 2022-23. But the real purpose of this message is that it's Jeff's birthday. He's turning 56. So he's going to play his bass on his 56th birthday. It must be the 10th of fucking July. And I'm here to wish you a happy birthday. I got this from your buddy Tommy, who you've known for all these decades. And I just want to say, bro, enjoy your day. Keep the sports talk going. Keep playing that bass. Keep listening to that Overkill. And good luck with those fucking Jets. You're going to need it. My name is Bobby Blitz, and I approve this fucking message.
So, a little message for Jeff from Bobby Blitz. I know it's one of his favorite bands.
Can you send me that?
Of course, I will absolutely send it to
that
you.
was cool, man. That was great.
Yes, that was very cool of Blitz. I'll let you know the secret. I can't hold it back. I gotta tell you, the guy who was supposed to be on tonight, or I thought was going to come on tonight, was Dee Verney.
Oh,
Dee Verney. I got some friends involved. They went to bat for us, put a good word in for us. I sent emails, texts, the whole bit, and I thought it was a lock. And they went radio silent. So I'm very upset with it. But at least Blitz came through and sent you that message. So, of course, I will forward that to you.
Yeah, listen, it is what it is. We hear things.
Yeah, listen.
But that was pretty cool, man. But listen, Bobby Blitz getting a message, a happy birthday from Bobby Blitz, man. That's no small feat, bro.
No.
That's great stuff.
Yep. So I will forward that over to you. I'll put that on Facebook for everybody to see later on. But we got two buddies on the line that want to wish you a happy birthday and hang with us for a few minutes. Hey, look at Joe Gansas popping
Joe
up.
Gansas, thank you, Joseph.
So again, Hard Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom here on Thursday night. We're here every Thursday, 7 to 9:30, or until we run out of stuff to talk about. And of course, we got our big anniversary coming up, July 28th. 8 years, Jeff and I celebrating what we do out here with our big spring, our training camp show. And we'll be, of course, we're here every week. We got plenty of stuff to talk about the rest of tonight and for the future. So stick around, check us out, and make sure you support all the guys who support us. And of course, one of those guys, or I should say two, but one of those guys happens to be our buddy who we do our Sunday show with. It's on the Audible, and that's our good buddy John Marhefka. And we're also going to bring on a guy who's also a big shot over at RFL Records, and also the big deal at Barstool Talk. So let's get the boys on. Hold on, there's Sean? And where's John? How come I can't get John?
You lost John?
No, he's there. I'm just for some reason I'm not able to. Hold on. No, we don't do that. Oh, I got it. I'm sorry. I'm ridiculous right now. And there's John. So, boys, welcome to the show.
Look at this. He's got on. Thank you guys for coming on, man.
Jeff, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
He even wore the Jet stuff.
I see that. It looks good. Look at it.
I got the 68 Jets hat on too, bud.
Sean, you should have helped me out with there you go, Sean. Now we're talking. There
it is.
Somebody with some class on this damn show.
I got the mug too, Jeff.
I'm gonna bite it. I just did my hair, so I'm not gonna put it on and ruin it. But
I'm putting everything on here.
Love you, Jeff. Happy birthday, bro.
Oh, guys, thank you for coming on, man, and hanging out for a little bit.
I love you, brother.
I certainly appreciate it. I think we do a quick roundtable. I know. Say again, Sean.
What was that?
I was just gonna say, how cool was that to have Bobby Overkill wishing you a happy birthday? Wow.
Yeah. Tommy got me a couple last year. He got me a couple wrestlers, Tito Santana and Jake the Snake Roberts. Tito Santana was nice. It was cool, but you could see he was reading off like a card. And Jake the Snake Roberts, when the show was over, I had to take like 4 showers. I just felt violated because as creepy as he was in the 80s is exactly how he is now. Like he smells of cigarettes and sweaty, even in the winter time.
Beer cigarettes and bad decisions.
Yeah, like what's that on the floor? Oh, look, a Percocet.
It's to me, it's the most fun thing when I can get people to give videos, and we did a bunch last year, and I had a bunch out this year, and I only got the one response from Blitz. The guys from Hemp Wizard, and I got one more to play before we're done and talk about it. But so guys, let's roundtable for a couple minutes. You guys got a few minutes to spare? I know Sean, you got a gig to play.
I think he's frozen.
He's frozen, yeah. It's good to see Sean. I haven't talked to Sean face to face in a while.
Well, hopefully he'll pop back up again. Hey, John. So listen, we got Sunday Audible getting ready to kick off in a few weeks, but. In the quiet of June, we got ourselves a little bit of action, boys. We'll get more into it later on. But what do you guys think of Baker getting traded for basically a bag of not even a bag of footballs? They got a bag of kicking tees.
John, go first on this one because I don't even know where to start. I have so much to say about that.
I know, and I'm waiting to hear it. So you better let me go so I can laugh the rest of the time. But it reminds me of I remember a baseball story like back in the early times of the game, in the early 1900s. A guy got traded for a bag of fish. So I just that kind of reminds me of this right here, and but it's cool to see Baker finally get away from that mess. I mean that was entirely too long for him to to be under that. The guy had 2 seasons injury riddled. But he got that team to the playoffs. He changed the mentality of that team. With his play, he might not have been the greatest quarterback, but the guy played hard. He played tough. he made a difference for that team, and for them to cast him aside now for a, basically a, I don't even know what they even called Deshaun Watson
Sexual
anymore.
predator.
Just
Sexual
a predator, yeah. He's probably not going to play this season anyway. So,
which is the whole craziness. But Sean,
Right.
are you there? Because he looks like he's posing for the.
No, he's moving.
I see eyes blinking. That's about it.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's like one of those paintings in a horror movie. The eyes move once in a while.
Oh,
Well, listen, I got to say, I didn't think they were going to get rid of him. And then he went from one situation where they're paying like $900 trillion for quarterbacks to another one where they're paying almost the same. And money spent on their position, not what they're paying, because I know Cleveland is paying a lot of money for Baker Mayfield.
10 million of the 15.
Yeah, but you have now the first and third pick in the draft just from 4 or 5 years ago on your team. The only thing that separates them was Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I'm not Mayfield, Saquon Barkley. That was the only pick. It's just unbelievable. But I'm just saying that imagine having two, Tom.
There we go.
No. Two of the top three picks are both quarterbacks are now on your team.
Oh, absolutely.
And neither one of them may be the answer. Just like the number 2 pick of the Giants may not be the answer for them in Saquon Barkley ever. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna skip over that.
He finds a way to work it in all the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Sean Bell again. I think he's having some mechanical difficulties over there, but let's try. I think he tried again. Let's see if Sean's officially back up and running there. Let's try that. Hey, Sean. He's having all sorts of technical difficulties. Sean.
There he is.
He moves. He doesn't move.
I don't know if he can hear us.
I don't know. Every once in a while.
I don't know.
Sean? I think we're having some technical difficulties from the land above us. Let's see if it gets worked out for Sean. He'll blink and we'll know he's there. Sean, we love you anyway. If you can't get through, we appreciate you trying, but give it a shot. Give it another minute. The one thing, guys, out of this whole thing comes out to me. Cleveland has solidified themselves as the worst franchise in football, bar none. Worse than the Jets. Worse than the Jets, and that's something to say.
Not for nothing.
Yeah.
You yourself said that the reason they gave him $1 million salary this year was because they were probably, and I disagreed with it at first, but now I'm on board, that they probably knew they were kissing him goodbye this year anyway. Yep. But I got to be honest with you. What makes you think that it's just going to be a 1-year suspension and one and done?
No, you're right.
Look, Aries back. You're here again. Are you with us now?
Sure, he's got to go stand in the refrigerator or something. So,
we might have to stand on a roof now.
Why do you haven't talked to him in a while, John? The Wi-Fi don't work in Canada. Don't you know to pay the bill?
Hey guys, we got Sean on there right now, and I'll throw something in while he can't talk. But he's doing something with Westlake right now that nobody's announced yet or anything. But man, this guy's fantastic on the track that they're doing. So Sean, if you could hear me, man, it's excellent.
He's frozen again. Here he is.
There he is, right there.
I feel bad. The guy's trying to get on the hang, and I feel bad.
I do too. I try and hold it on there. But let me go back to my thought about Cleveland, guys. And the reason I say this is because, okay, so here's a team who overpaid for a quarterback that I don't feel is worth that kind of money or anything for. Gave him a guaranteed contract. Now, yes, Jeff, I agree with you. They played around with the money so that way, by the way, they took a predator and helped him keep his money, just for the record. Okay?
Right.
So on top of that, they have no idea when he's actually going to play. They keep a quarterback on their roster. They have no intention of playing to try to hold out to get more for him, get next to nothing, if not nothing. I mean, the guy was a number 1 pick 4 or 5 years ago. He's been a starting quarterback in this league. He's not, again, not the greatest one, but not an embarrassment. And you got a conditional pick in 2024 for him, and then had to pay $10 million of his $15 million salary. Gentlemen,
bad move on the Cleveland Browns
Oh.
part. And you know what else is a bad move? Signing. When are the women of Cleveland going to start marching on the stadium and demand that the Browns release Deshaun Watson? And don't you think if it would have been a smarter move, if you wanted to sign him for all of this guaranteed money, say, listen, there's gonna be a shitstorm. We're gonna sign you for $1 million, but we're gonna revisit it next year. And once everything is cool, we're gonna guarantee you a lot of money, but we're doing this for you now, but you're in our plans and our future. You don't think I don't understand how women aren't fucking bombarding that team and marching on that stadium every day. I don't understand it.
I don't know. Unless they're just, it's not to that point yet. Don't forget, there's nobody there yet. So maybe they're waiting for them
Doesn't
to
have to
show
be anybody there,
practice.
though, Tom. It's symbolic at this point in time.
You
got a guy that has 25 counts against him. Okay. Yes, some of them were settled out of court. There's a few that are in court.
20 of 24 he paid away.
Yeah, it's still the thought that even if there's one left against him, there's still one there. And I personally don't understand how women aren't saying, going and giving him shit that you sign him guaranteed money for all of these years.
Right.
No, John, it's Jeff's got a great point. I mean, I don't know how he gets on the field at all, ever. I mean, listen, Michael Vick got back on the field. The only guy who hasn't gotten back on the field is Ray Rice. That's the only guy who has not gotten back.
Every single one of those guys did. Michael Vick could have bought a couple cases of dog food and signed them and raffled them off through the ASPCA, and people would have fucking fell in love with him. He may never be able to own a goldfish again, but they took him right back. Ray Rice was the first one. He was in a questionable position as it was. He was a running back. Because look at Kareem Hunt came back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Ray Rice was the first one, but Ray Rice's shot was absolute brutality.
Yeah. Well, so was Adrian Peterson. How did Adrian Peterson get back on the field?
Discipline.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I think you really look at it as what is the status of these players. Adrian Peterson was a very well-liked player before that happened. So it kind of seems like they kind of glazed over that a little bit, which is crazy. But Ray Rice, they were going to let him back in. They were going to give him a slap on the wrist.
Yep.
Until the NFL came back. Yeah, until the NFL came back and said, "Hey, we didn't see the whole video."
Yeah.
Which I think is total bull. They definitely saw it. They were just going to let him back in.
It just got out. Everybody else got to see it. Everybody else got to see it. That's why Ray Rice, because you see him punch his wife in the face like he's punching a man.
Punch her in the face. Dude, he lifted her off the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
The woman still can't say the letter Q and a few others anymore the right way. The way he rearranged the jaw.
But you got to go to Cleveland at this point, and you got to question. Here's a franchise who, since they've been back, from return to the league, have had numerous coaches and quarterbacks. But the way they've handled this whole thing with Mayfield and then signing Deshaun Watson for the contract that he did, based and not knowing what's going to happen to him. I mean, this guy, Jeff, to your point, he may never play again. He may play 2 years from now.
Listen, who knows? This doesn't look like it's going away soon. And the lawyers for the women want all of the records from the NFL and their investigation into this. So think of that. This isn't going away. And for them to say if they give that information to them, this guy may never escape this. And Cleveland gave up all of those draft picks, all of that money. What happens? Can they void that contract? Is there any kind of clause that they can void it? That, you know what I mean? Suppose
he's fully guaranteed, but there is a morals clause in most contracts. Sorry.
Because
what I've heard, they can't.
Okay, it's possible.
Really?
They've looked into it. Now I'm just going by what I've heard on the NFL site.
So Cleveland actually looked into voiding the contract?
I don't know if it was so much Cleveland. I think one of the attorneys brought up the question that is this something that they can void out the contract, but they said that there's nothing that they can do in there to make that happen. But like I said, I don't know. I'm just going by what I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, again, guys, I mean, we break each other's polls about the Jets and the Giants and some of the teams out there. Well, I have to tell you, when I look at Cleveland,
Understatement.
You know what
this may be the worst. This may,
I gotta go on record. John sits there and laughs at this. That's because he goes unscathed and nobody says anything about the Steelers.
Well, it's hard to. They at least don't lose
That's
every
why I
year.
said something about that hat the other day. Rusted yellow hat.
Hey, guys, don't forget the Sunday Audible. We're returning soon, and I believe we're targeting July the 30th as our opening day show. Now, the time of the show, day of the show, I don't know. It's going to work around Jeff's schedule, so maybe an afternoon show. It could be an
That's
evening
the day of
show.
the big barbecue, man.
Oh, that's right. That is the day of the big barbecue.
Oh, so thank God it ain't the 31st or the 1st, whatever. Man.
Oh, so we'll probably we'll probably get the show in the morning, so that way Jeff won't have to worry about Jeff being drunk for the later part of that one. But
John,
yeah,
if you
we'll
happen to be in Staten Island on July 30th, man, you're more than welcome to come by. Just let us know.
We're going to be out that direction in August. I mean, we'll be at the beach.
Where
at the
beach
end
you
of
going?
August.
What beach you
We'll
going?
we'll be at Dewey Beach, so we're at least in the general area.
Yeah, it's still a little far out, but yeah,
It's far enough, but yeah.
yes. But yeah. So July 30th, the Sunday Audible will return. I think we're going to be every week after that, but certainly we'll be semi-regular at the very least. And then, of course, with opening day, I believe September the 10th or the 11th, we'll be opening up that weekend as well. And so look out for the Sunday Audible. Go to SundayAudible.com to get more information on all of our shows. And, of course, to find a link to the Fanatics website where you can go buy all your NFL gear. And then it helps us, too. They recognize us. So make sure you go ahead and check all that out and get ready for a lot of different stuff coming up during the year from Sunday Audible. But, Johnny, I as bad as Cleveland might be, I have to put the Panthers in there as well. I mean, their coach is on the hot seat. They got two quarterbacks worth, $20-something million that we're not sure either one can play. Boy, I tell you, it's going to be an interesting time. And Cleveland and the Carolina Panthers open up against each other this year.
It's a disaster. I mean, what if Mayfield would go up against what if Deshaun Watson plays? What if Deshaun Watson plays and Carolina has Mayfield starting and Carolina blows him out?
Oh man,
Can't wait. See you in Pittsburgh. Can't wait.
Oh my God, are you still playing that? Are you kidding me?
That's the way it is this year, man. I can't wait. That's the catchphrase.
Yeah. By the start of week 2, it's going to be all right. It's over. We're playing for we're tanking for Sam again. We're tanking again.
Please, non-believers, stop.
1 week.
Yeah, 1 weekend we'll be praying.
Stop.
He's got a lot to be excited about, though. I mean, I have to admit that.
But what? They got new footballs? Did they bring in a new batch of footballs?
When you have a new coaching staff come in,
a quarterback,
brand new coaching staff, and they say, well, we're not going to pick up your 5th-year option because we want to see how you play. Yeah. That is the fucking ultimate kiss of fucking death, bro.
Oh,
the ultimate kiss of death.
Smart business, smart.
God, who's buying
the guy who's playing George Michael in the next Wham video.
Please.
It's a banana peel over the cliff is what it is.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
Let's get a guy who at best wears his headband good enough to be in Wham. Please stop. Your quarterback. Oh my God. I get messages.
Are you done?
For now I am, but I think Sean popped up. Let's try Sean one more time. I see him moving, so let's get him on quick. There he is.
There he is. Hey, Sean.
The internet, man. I don't know what to tell you.
There he is.
You guys still got dial up there or what, man?
Actually, I had to change the hamster in the wheel there.
No, listen, tell Trudeau to pay the bill, man. We got a better service up there.
Yeah,
at least for Sean. I mean, he needs to single him out and just take care of this guy.
Oh my God,
he's got important things to do.
That's right.
Hey, Sean, thanks for being persistent. We love it. Hey, I know what I want to talk to you about. So what I've been following, and I want to get off the sports a little bit. This whole concert series with Motley Crue and Poison and them. There's a lot of breaking down going on in that camp. Tommy Lee's missed some shows with some bad ribs. I think the Poison set had to be shut down early. Something with Breck Michaels. You know, is it the geriatric tour? What's going on with
what is the average age of every member in this band? It's got to be over 60. It has to be.
I got to be right near 60. I would think.
Yeah, I would think.
Tommy Lee's 59. All I can say is I've played with broken ribs before, and it's not fun because there's nothing you can do to get comfortable. It's hard to breathe.
Right.
You know, but I did it when I was like 47. I didn't do it when I was 59, so I can sympathize. I mean, it's tough. You know, and then when you get a guy like you know, Tommy Kafutas that go out and kind of mop up for you, that's not a bad thing for the fans to see, right? You know,
we got to see him play with Sabbath.
Yeah.
He blows Tommy Lee out of the water. Blows him out of the water.
My only thing that I've been seeing a lot of footage and the Motley Show. I mean, and I know that like they have a lot of tracks and stuff. One of my guitar players in one of my bands did a tour with them when he rearranged Theory of a Dead Man, and they use a lot of tracks. Their tracks seem to be slow. I don't know if it's because they're trying to keep up. Just the show seems a little sluggish. But I mean, they're Motley Crue and I'm not. So what can I really say? You know what I mean?
Still the worst band I've ever seen live. I like Motley on record. The first couple albums are great. There's a couple of things later on, but Jeff and I saw them in their prime, and they
Out at the Devil, right?
Yeah, no, it wasn't Shout at the Devil.
No, it was the third album.
Third album, yeah, it was the Theater of Pain.
Theater of Pain, yeah.
Yeah.
And they opened. They had Loudness open up for them, and I wished Loudness would have played 2 sets because
it's really funny, Tom.
horrendous.
What's really funny, right, is like when you're at their level, it's almost, I don't want to say you get a free pass, but I mean, sometimes you play and it's like, and they know the shows aren't great. I'll go up to my local club and play, and if I don't hit everything bang on, everybody's kind of get their arms crossed and making fun of me, and they seem to get a pass. By the same token, I mean, Nicky's what, 63, 62? Mick's got to be 800.
Everybody's average age.
The over-under, if you guys remember, the over-under was how many shows does Vince make? And it seems to be holding his own now. Does he sound amazing? He sounds like Vince Neil, right? But, I mean, who would have thought that, he would be the one that isn't breaking down, right?
Yeah, but I got to tell you the truth. Like, first off, listen, I'm still pissed off that they came back. Now, again, I could care less. They could play to their 400 like the Rolling Stones, and I could care less. But I hate when these bands go out, they always make a big deal, we signing contracts, and then they go, oh, we're going to come back and play. That annoys the shit out of me. But come back and play well, do the right thing. It just doesn't seem like it's going extremely well. And I'm just seeing Leonard says that the Ace Frehley ended his tour, canceled all future shows. I'm a huge Ace guy, but boy, Ace hasn't sounded like Ace in 100 years.
I'm friends with Matt Starr that plays drums with him, and Matt's awesome, man. You can find him on Instagram, and he's incredible. What I saw, his band sounded fantastic, and even Ace, sounded great to me. So and then you hear Whitesnake canceling a whole European tour. Yeah. I just think that our heroes are getting old. We got to face it, right? It's just simply the way that it goes, and I'd like to remember them as they were. I mean, I think it's kind of a little bit sad sometimes to see what's going on with some of them, but if that's it for Ace, that's too bad because he was a big part of my growing up, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. But the big part of it is that these people charge these astronomical monies for the seats that they're looking to put people in. And my birthday's coming up on Sunday, and my wife asked me what I wanted for Christmas for my birthday. So I was looking around at concert tickets. And the only concert I was even interested in was Alice in Chains. And I'm looking at the tickets, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. $400 or $500 for a seat that's nowhere near up in the front. And you're not even getting a free soda with this.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Now, Alice in Chains, I understand, is a bigger band than, say, Ace Frehley. But, I mean, you got Joan Jett, Def Leppard, Poison, and Motley Crue. I wouldn't want to go see any one of them, but God only knows what some of the people are paying for that seat. They got to be paying $1,000. And
that's a lot.
If you take your wife or girlfriend or your two friends are going, think of the money that you're spending. You didn't even get there yet.
Yeah.
And the money you're spending. Who could do that? Who can afford that?
Yeah,
you
listen,
I one show all year because of those prices.
But you know what I can't figure out, guys? And Sean, you're right. But how are like I saw Kiss, and I'm sure there's some tracks going on, but Kiss did a nice job. I saw Maiden not too long ago. They're still knocking it out of the park. How those bands doing it, and these guys can't do it the same way anymore. That's the part I can't figure out. By the way, the Yankees, holy cow, they just had a grand slam by Josh Donaldson, and right behind them, Aaron Hicks just hit a solo shot. Yankees up 5-0 in Boston. Big weekend for the Yankees. Try to put this whole thing away in July. But guys, yeah, I mean, John, how does Kiss still go out there and do it? Now, listen, again, are they playing? Are there some vocal tracks? Maybe there's a guitar track covering up Stanley. I don't know, but they out there doing it, world tours, and they make every show. And these guys are 10 years younger, and they can't play full shows anymore.
You know what, Tom? It's the Kiss thing is a stage show.
Yeah, but okay, but
all about
out there. I got it.
I understand that, but you know what? When you're mimicking, before you know that guitar, they maybe hollowed out the guitar. He's not even playing it. That's serious, bro.
I'm not buying a total mimic thing. I'm not buying that. I'm not telling you there's not a vocal track.
You don't know.
No, I got it. I don't. But John, why does Kiss and Maiden and the Rolling Stones, they're 103 years old. They don't know. They haven't stopped yet. They haven't stopped touring. They'd be dead. They realize they really died 20 years ago.
I think it just shows that everybody's different, and how do these guys take care of themselves at certain times in their life? That's really the main thing. I mean, the band that I bring up that still sounds awesome, and you mentioned a few, Maiden still does. Kiss still brings about Y&T.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever heard Y&T live now, I mean, Meniketti sounds just as good, if not better, than he did back in the day, and I think it's just really how these guys take care of themselves, what kind of lifestyle they lived. I mean, especially after 40. What they've done, and Motley Crue, I mean, you know what they did back in the day, the Ultimate Party band, but these guys, they haven't played together at least for a long time. I mean, to get back together to do this tour, and to be in that stage, I see that's why there's some let up there, and same with Poison.
Yeah, and the other thing is, when did you ever think, Sean, you're going to have to go and pay, one price to see Poison, Motley Crue, who else is on that tour? Joan Jett
and Def Leppard,
and Def Leppard, all in one show in order to be able to sell out an entire building.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the other thing too is, and this is from personal experience. I have to practice every day, and I get to practice. And Jeff, you would know this. You play bass. I mean, the fingers don't move around. I mean, my recovery time from a show is a lot longer than what it used to be. And if I choose to still play at a high level, I've got to do the work. And I'm not saying they're not doing the work, but I mean, it's tough when you have their, new lifestyle where, there's all kinds of fun bling and different sorts of things. You get sidetracked, you get distracted. It's harder to do that. And let's face it. I mean, yeah, they're at a point in their lives where, their motivation's probably different. They're not worrying about the young kids nipping at their heels because they're still successful. Right. For me, I'm still, and I talk with Westlake about this all the time. I'm still worried about what, the boys in Ohio and LA are doing. I'm not, necessarily caring what's going on in my own backyard. And I think the motivation might be a little bit different. And, the body's only so willing, right? Like Neil Peart had to retire because his body gave out on him. So what they're doing, people don't understand. It's a full contact, high level sport. And if you don't treat your body right, like John said, it ain't going to work for you, right?
No, but something, you're 100% right. I agree with everything you said, because now when I play a show, which unfortunately is not as often as it once was, I don't even want to look at my stuff for a couple days afterwards. I just leave it off in the back. I barely get it in the house. But when you're talking about a band like Motley Crue and Def Leppard, who Motley Crue, for example, and Poison most saw, these are bands we heard stories that these guys hate one another and they don't want to even be in the same room with one another. But, I guess when you spend all your money on hairspray, cocaine, and hookers, you got to make some money. You got to live somehow for the next 30 years and have something. So you're
not supposed to do that, Jeff?
I didn't get no cocaine, hookers, nothing, unfortunately. Not with the money we were making. I got maybe a beer or two. That was about it. But, it is what it is. These guys probably don't want to put in the effort. Why should they? They're going to make the money just off of the name of the tour alone. Def Leppard, you really think Def Leppard has to play with one another? And let me ask you guys this. Do you even want to hear new music from Def Leppard, or would you rather hear a night of Def Leppard playing all the old stuff, the classics that you've known for years?
What's
Is it that important to Def Leppard to hear their new music?
What's the worst line you can ever hear at a show from a nostalgic band? This one's off our new album, because nobody cares. Right?
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Right.
I had to talk to somebody at work today about the Rolling Stones, and we were talking about it. He goes, "Well, I go see the Stones in a minute," and I was like, "I didn't ask you that. I asked you, would you want to go see the Stones with them playing no music, new music?" And he was like, "No, absolutely not. I want to hear the classics. That's what I want to hear." And I'm like, "Well, there you go. That's where our music is at this point in time. These guys have to record another album. Just don't forget the stuff you know how to play."
That's the reason why nothing moves too, Jeff, on radio and other outlets too, because the big time radio stations, the iHeart stations and stations like that, they only want to play the classics. You try to invite new music into that groove, it's almost impossible unless you're paying millions of dollars to get it there. And I think that's the reason that the music is where it is right now. Nobody's moving anywhere. They want to hear the classics. They want to go to shows and hear the classics. And I'm with you. I don't want to hear new Def Leppard stuff because it's not even close to what they were doing.
See, I'll disagree with you guys a little bit. I don't want to hear new Def Leppard stuff because it's not very good. There was some stuff. Skid Row did a few albums not too long ago. The last 3 Accept albums were probably the best 3 Accept albums I've ever heard. Blind Rage, Stalingrad. Those albums with Mark Tornillo are almost as good as some of the old stuff.
Some good stuff.
Yeah.
You know what, Tommy? That's fair ball, because I heard the new Striper tune, and that new Striper tune is – I'm a huge Striper fan. And I was just like, "Oh, this should be good." Because, again, I'm a bit of a homer when it comes to that band. I'll give them props when I heard that song and I was like, this is the best thing they've done in 20 years.
Tell you something, his last solo was incredible. His last solo album was great. So there is good music. The problem is there isn't enough people who give it a chance anymore for whatever reason, Jeff. And I think you're right.
That's not true, Tom. That's not true, because I worked with a guy just maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. And he was about 31, 30, something like that at the time. And I was turning him on to old music from the 80s, and he was letting me hear some new music. And he let me hear bands like Park Drive North or Parkway North, whatever the fuck, Park Drive North, I think they were, and a couple other bands. And I was like, this all sounds the same. Did you change the music? He goes, what are you talking about? And he's getting all hyper. What are you talking about? That sounds great. He's like, everything for you is Black Sabbath. I'm like, yeah, because it's fucking cool. Everything you're playing sounds the same. Even the different bands sound the same. They sound like there's no distinction between them. When you heard Maiden, you knew it was Maiden. You knew it was Van Halen. You knew it was Priest. You knew it was Def Leppard. You knew it was Saxon. You knew it was Black Sabbath. You knew it was Ozzy. Now it's like I could put one band on and be like, is that Slipknot? I don't know.
I agree with you, Jeff, on a lot of some of the new bands that are out. There's no distinction. I'm not disagreeing with that. There are some good new bands out, and you want to check out some really good new bands, go to rforecords.com. There's a lot of great bands out there to listen to. What I'm talking about is, I know that a lot of people want to go to Accept and they want to hear Balls to the World and Fast as a Shark and all of that. But I would rather hear stuff off those last 3 albums, but not everybody's the same way. And I agree with Sean. Stryper's last album was great. I didn't hear the new stuff, but and then Michael Sweet's, his solo album was off the charts. It was so good. But
I want to ask you guys each a question. I want you all to answer. Name the last album that you guys heard within the last 5 years that you could say, like, wow. Doesn't matter if it was a new band or an old band. What is the last new album that you guys got that you were like, wow, this is now in rotation in my collection?
Well, I've got it up here. I've got the fifth. It's the 40th anniversary of Scorpions Blackout on vinyl.
Oh, great stuff.
Okay, but that's a great album.
But I'll be honest with you. I am, outside of the guys in RFL, and I'm saying this straight up, and not because I'm a corporate sellout, but I'm not one of those guys. I'm saying that with my Molson Canadian, but there's not a lot of new stuff that I hear and I like, and there's different reasons for it. The guys and gals in RFL are amazing. But I'm starting to get into a little bit of a bubble with some of the stuff that I'm doing myself, and I'm kind of trying to not get new influences in. I like the old influences I grew up on, and that's so. I'm a throwback, man. Scorpions Blackout. Now, I only got that 2 months ago.
And even though that's a great album, it's still an old album. So I mean, it's not that it's new. Tom, what about for you? What is new for you that?
Oh boy, John would probably be better at this than me, but
I got a few guys. Go ahead, Tom.
Go ahead. The last Alice in Chains album, Rainier Fog. That is probably the best album that I've heard in the last 5 years from like any band that I could say like new album, Rainier Fog. Other than that, I haven't heard anything that caught my ear. Nothing.
Are we talking about old bands releasing new stuff, or are we talking about just good albums?
Just a new album that's come out that you say, wow, that's great stuff.
Well, I could bring up two right now. Heat 2. If you guys know who Heat is over in Swedish band, I mean, just awesome. And I think 2, after they got rid of Eric now, Eric's in Skid Row now. But I thought that he was a better fit with Heat. But I mean, if you listen to that album, I mean, it's better than their old stuff. I mean, it's like the band, progressed all the way, and then they hit this peak here with 2. And then, I mean, I kind of got to bring this up a little bit, but we got James Durbin coming on the show next week.
I saw that
podcast with an album from a band, that he put together, a project called Clean Break, the Coming Home album. And if you guys listen to this is some big time stuff. And he's got Perry from Striper, X Firehouse on bass, and he's got Robert Sweet on drums from Striper. He's got some really good ties. He's got the guitarist from Fighter V. But if you listen to that album right there, I mean, you hear, the tie back to the classic and the connection there. So that's one I heavily recommend. So there is good stuff out there, guys. Like all of you said, but I think really what it is, it's people willing to give it a chance, like Tommy said.
Yeah.
It's people that are basically, just they're stone heads, they're cement heads when it comes to this. They need to be able to listen to these bands.
There's cement heads because the next Maiden and Priest and Black Sabbath and all these other bands is not there. They're not there. I don't care what anybody says. There's nobody that grabbed the torch and took it. Nobody. No. There is no more guitar hero. Dimebag Darrell was the last guitar hero. He's gone. Who's the next one up? Zach Wilde? Nah.
Well, I'll be honest with you guys. I get a little I see some of these young players coming out now where they're on video and they're flipping their hair and they're doing all that stuff. And I had a post a while back. It was a video of Robert Sweet in '85. Robert Sweet did it in '85 and I did it in '91. So 2022, it's not that. And it's like in dealing with, and John, we both know this, you're dealing with some of the younger guys are not you, like they know everything there is to know about music, and we're just old farts. And so unfortunately my opinion of some of it is a little tainted because it's like, on this call right here, there's a ton of experience that they might not listen to. Right. So yeah, you're right. You're right there, Jeff. I don't see the next Maiden coming out. I don't see the next, you remember when the London Choir Boys came out, we went, oh my God, that's the Small Faces, right? You don't get that vibe right now.
No, there's nobody else. There's nobody, these bands used to have stage outfits. And you would see Maiden in their street clothes and then their stage clothes. Same thing with Priest. Now these new bands, they look like they just rolled out of bed. They grab whatever shorts were there. They got sneakers on, no socks, and they all look the same. They got the baseball hat on backwards, short hair. Yep. They just jump around in the same spot. They all move the same way. And it's sad. It used to be such a genre of music, and it's slowly dissipating. And that's how I feel.
I'm doing a show on Saturday night. I'm on a break, and I'm sitting down and I'm talking to this guy. And the show was up in Cape Breton, which is 5 hours from where I live. And this guy comes up to me. He goes, "You guys are a good band. You look like a band." He goes, "I went to Halifax and I saw some band. And I couldn't tell if they were the band on stage or the guys eating chicken wings in the crowd. And he was basically saying he walks in to see a show, and the dude that's eating the wings, puts the wet nap and gets up and plays guitar, and he was saying exactly what you're saying, right?
Yeah. No, it's tough. Again, it's Hard Rock and Sports. Jeff and Tom here celebrating the big Jeff birthday show. Still got a little bit of time, and we're joined by our good buddies John Marhefka and Sean McCannon. So thanks to them for popping up and giving us some time. But yeah, guys, I mean, listen, I think a lot of that is the case of how you present yourself out there as the band. And Jeff, to your take on Kiss, it is about the stage show. You want to go there and see that stage show. You go to see Maiden, you want that stage show. And
Tom Maiden is not about the stage show as much as Kiss is. They're about a stage show, but they're also about the musicianship of the band. Yeah. And they always put out a good product, Iron Maiden.
Yes.
It's just the problem with Iron Maiden is their product is old and it's kind of outdated. And now they keep putting the same shit out. I don't want to go and hear a 14-minute song.
Oh, I agree with that.
I'd rather hear 3 other songs instead of that one 14 minutes.
I agree, but to your point, most time you go to a Maiden show, they do 2 tours. The tour they're on now, they're playing 1 or 2 or 3 songs from the new album and all a classic set. The next time they'll come back in 2 years, they'll play just a complete classic set, no new material. That's why they've been doing it for the last 10 or 15 years, and I've seen a bunch of the shows. I'd rather see the ones where they're playing the classic set, and then you get the different songs, and, it's always the case, but again, the conversation is let's take the new bands out of it. Let's say that a lot of the new stuff is not for everybody. I get it. There is a lot of good stuff the last 10 or 12 years from older bands who put out good music. And I'll go back to the Stryper. Skid Row put 2 or 3 albums in a row that were really good albums, but nobody paid attention to it. I don't know why.
I'll tell you why nobody paid attention to it, because they don't have the same thing that a lot of these other bands had. They don't, whether it's the backing from the record companies, the fan base, the catchy hooks, whatever they are. Iron Maiden put out the Trooper. Let me ask you something. If Skid Row put out the Trooper, would Skid Row have had the same success with the song The Trooper that Iron Maiden would? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I think for me, for Skid Row, I think the newer stuff is good, but it's still not Sebastian on vocals, and it's kind of like an actor too. Some of these actors, you want to see them not play like a tough guy actor playing some kind of dramatic role or some in a love story.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want to see. You have them categorized in a certain way, and that's the way we want to see these guys.
Hold on, Jeff, before you go, but Sean, to John's point, it's a good one. When I root for a baseball team, I'm rooting for the sweater, or I'm rooting for my favorite hockey team. I'm rooting for the sweater, and whoever happens to be in that sweater, I'm going to root for. But it's different with a band. To Jeff's point, if Iron Maiden came around and Steve Harris wasn't in the band, I'm not going to see Iron Maiden. So I think that's a tough part for people nowadays is a lot of these bands we're talking about. John brought up, Skid Row, no Sebastian Bach. It's hard to root for these bands. Jeff and I, big Queensryche fans. Jeff Tate's not there anymore. Half the band's not there anymore. Sean, I think that's a bigger problem than the music itself.
It is, and anybody that's played in the band will know it's 90% of it is dealing with drama and personalities, right? I've played with people who are amazing musicians that are an absolute pain in the ass, and I've played with people who are terrible that are the best people to work with. I've yet to find that sweet spot where they're just okay and they're amazing.
Does that exist?
Yeah, but if you take, so you mentioned Queensryche, you mentioned Skid Row. I saw Queensryche open for Priest about a month and a half ago. They were incredible, and I know it wasn't Jeff Tate. That guy Todd LaTorre.
I saw him. Right? I saw him a couple years ago. Great,
fantastic. Skid Row. I don't have any insight in. Well, I kind of do. A friend of mine is friends with Scotty, and that ain't ever happening.
No.
If it does, I'll buy you guys a beer. But if anybody knows Sebastian or knows people who know Sebastian, he's an amazing talent who's a lot to be around. He always has been. He always will be. He's another proud Canadian, but I know this for a fact, and I just think that the boys from Jersey, they want to live a peaceful life and have fun, and it ain't going to happen with Sebastian. So you're just going to have to take Skid Row as they are right now. Yeah,
but I think it's more about Jeff. You can't root for the sweater. I don't want there's been a rumor for years that Kiss, the management, to Kiss, the two main guys felt that when they're done, they could dress up any four guys as Kiss and put them out there and be Kiss. And to me, it could never be that way.
Why? They're doing it now. They're doing it right now.
No, it's different.
They're doing it right now. Peter, Chris, and Ace Frehley are not there, but they're.
I got it. It's still Gene and Paul. It's still Gene and Paul.
It is still Gene and Paul. But you want to know something? In 15 years from now, 20 years from now, it's liable to still keep going because people are going to see Kiss. Just like you said.
I got it.
Like the Yankees, Mickey Mantle retired, Reggie Jackson retired.
Yeah, it's different.
All these guys retired.
It's different in music.
For you, it's different.
If they came back tomorrow with Black Sabbath, but Tony Iommi was not there as a guitar player, is that Black Sabbath?
No, of course not.
Okay, and most Sabbath fans would blow that off, then would go to that. I'm not disagreeing with you that there may be some instances where it happened, but look at Quiet Riot. It was huge for years. They're back out. They're still playing. There's not one original member.
No, I know.
So
it's like this, Tommy. And a hockey analogy. Toronto Maple Leafs has not won the Stanley Cup in any of our lifetimes, right?
Yeah.
67 was the last time they won.
Yeah.
I lived in Toronto for 7 years.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I'm not even a Leafs fan, and I'll say this. I lived in Toronto for 7 years, and basically, if I had season tickets and gave them up, there'd be 15 people that would snap them up for a 100%. Losing team, right? So it's like, I get what you're saying, but unfortunately, what's going to happen, and I think Kiss is going to do that. I think you're going to have an alive set. You're going to have a live 2 set. You're going to have the the non-makeup. There's going to be 5 or 6 different things going out there like Cirque du Soleil, and people are still going to buy into it. Well, you and I don't know. That's our choice.
I agree with that. I've gone to see a bunch of different. Yeah, I've gone to see a bunch of Beatles tribute bands. Let's call it. You want to call it a Kiss tribute band, and you want to have them roll out there with the makeup and stuff, with all the pyrotechnics. Okay, fine, dude, but it's still a Kiss tribute band.
Fucking Kiss air guitar strings, bro. They sell Kiss air guitar strings. They are going to do whatever it takes to keep the money rolling in, and if it means that they get a bunch of hired guns to put on makeup and run around like they do, and it makes them money. They're not going to care about the malcontent fans such as yourself that won't go see it because there's going to be 100,000 other people behind you. But like, I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to see what it's like because it's like listening to the CD in your car. You put it on. It's not really Kiss, but you're listening to their music. It's somebody playing. It could be anybody. You don't know.
But I got it. John, I just don't see them putting that out that Kiss is still playing. I can't imagine it at that point.
What's great about Kiss, though, is they've built a brand. I mean, that's a brand that's so identifiable that you just say, look, we know the music already. We know what this band is. And really, if you could get a guy up there, I think Paul Stanley's loss would be the worst because of, just the voice and everything. I think if he would go. But if you got a guy that at least resembled him a little bit, you could disguise it in the makeup that sounded like him, I think people would still go see it. Long after we're gone, I think that brand is going to carry on. And we're seeing it with, the way the clubs do things now. They don't want to bring in original music because it doesn't bring people in. They want to see the Poison tribute, the Kiss tribute, the Clue tribute.
That I agree with. I agree with you on that.
It's killing the music scene right now.
Absolutely.
But it ties back to what Jeff said. Nobody is taking that flag and taking over where these other guys were. Nobody is even close to that level right now or even coming close to that level. So we need to see some bands step in and take the flag, for the music that we love and to carry it into the next generation. It's not happening.
All I know, Tommy, all I know is I wasn't expecting to come on this show tonight and hear Jeff word to use like malcontent. Like that.
Me either. Anything over 2 syllables and his head starts to shake. So when he starts getting 3 or 4 syllables in a word,
listen,
I start to see him do this. It's
scary. You don't want to listen to me all the time, but it's there. It's there. I had to learn a foreigner song for a band that I was in not too long ago. I had to learn Dirty White Boy. And I'm like, I tried to listen to other foreigner that wasn't just radio stuff. And I just couldn't do it. It's not enjoyable. It wasn't fun. And I'm like, I like the radio stuff. And then I came across a live video of Foreigner from 10 years ago, and it wasn't the original singer. And I'm like, well, let me give this a go and see what it sounds like. And they found a singer that sounds just like the original singer.
Kelly Hansen.
Yeah, whoever his name was. So it really did not matter who was playing the music, because the singer, that's what everybody wants to see with Foreigner. It was the original guitar player, which was like the only guy left. I think it was James Kodak from Kingdom Come, Jeff Pilson. I don't even know who the other guys were. And it didn't matter because the music sounded okay, but the vocals were dead on. They found somebody that sounded just like it. And that's why they were selling out and were able to keep touring, because they were able to find one key component of that band and get out there and play.
Well, again, you can also put that with Journey. I mean, Journey's gone on for years without Steve Perry.
And they're still doing it. And Neil Schoen turns around just the other day. I saw a clip. He says, I'm getting to know Steve Perry again. It's like, why? What happened? He still has some money left, so he's not ready to go out on tour yet.
Reunion tours. I smell a reunion tour right now. I'm telling you. Man, God, Hard Rock and Sports. Jeff, Tom, Sean, and John all hanging out for a few more minutes. I thank the boys for coming on as long as they are. We're having a good bit of laughs here on Jeff's birthday. And again, I always celebrate my partner's birthday every year. So make sure you guys reach out to him on your own. For all you people who didn't want to get involved and say hi to my boy Jeff. So, guys, listen. I know you got. Sean, I know you got a gig. John, I know you're still wrapping up from your vacation. So I'll let you guys go. I want to thank you both for coming on, and of course, Jed, Sean, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
And I can one quick.
Sean, go ahead, Sean.
He's got something.
Go ahead. He's freezing though.
So obviously, there's a ton of great stuff going on at RFL. The Playhouse boys are blowing up. We're waiting for Svengali to come out with their new album. David Lioncourt, which is wow. I mean,
nice guy, really nice guy, great musician. Oh my God.
All John was all over that. I'd like to give a little personal plug, if I could, to a gentleman that John introduced me to that I was like, and that's Mr. Jeff Westlake. You guys had Michelle Ryder on here a couple of months ago. She's been working with Jeff, and Jeff absolutely loves her. Jeff hates everybody, and he likes her. So well, you know it, right? And so I've gotten to know Jeff really well over the last little bit. I did a drum track for one of his songs that he's got coming out. He's working on this album with Michelle. The guy's amazing. He's friggin', he's a complete asshole when he wants to be, but he's a super talent. Yes. And there's just going to be a lot of good music coming out. But I just want to get that plug because I want to say thank you for a number of months ago when you guys promoted that single, because it did great.
Great song. And she was fantastic. So yeah, no, my pleasure. And I thank Westlake because he always sends me stuff. I get stuff in my inbox, and especially and again, the music's great. I love it all, but I love when he sends me his covers, especially his Kiss covers. I play them. I literally play them all the time when I'm sitting down working on the show. I got a lot of Westlake stuff playing in the background because I absolutely love his Kiss covers.
I don't want to let any cat out of the bag, but he got me to cover a Europe tune.
Oh,
and, wow. He sent me the song, and the first thing was, I don't want you using any click track. Oh, okay. How do you do that when you're recording over the thing? But anyway, his first line was a pretty complicated bass drum part. Hopefully you can get it. Anyway, it was one take, just saying. Anyway, Jeff's a lot of fun to work with. He doesn't mince any words. You know where you stand, good, bad, or otherwise, because he tells you right away. Hey, you know what? I thank John for introducing me to him, because him and John and Doug kind of, when I first got involved with RFL, were sending me all this Westlake stuff, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And then huge Kiss fan, and anyway, I don't want to blow his head up too much. He knows how good he is, but
he is.
And thanks to you guys, because you guys are always helping out promoting RFL, and I always have a good time when like I say, I say this to all my buddies. I said it the other day when I found out I was coming on this show. It's like I'm hanging out with my two buddies from The Sopranos, right? My favorite show, and it's awesome. And Jeff, sorry about being a Giants fan. Still love you. Or sorry, Jets fan. Tommy and I are Giants fans.
That's it. Absolutely.
Usually the one's the problem, man. That's all right.
Well, first I want to tell
Hey,
you.
listen, at least we like stuff from New York. Where the fuck, John? Pittsburgh.
I wore the Jet stuff for his birthday too. Look at that. Slap in the face.
Listen, the gloves have to come off with you sooner or later, bro. You gotta start feeling some pain. You know?
Well, let me tell you something. This could be an ugly season for Johnny's team this year. I'm not
gonna let something out of the bag. I'm gonna let something out of the bag. There's times where you complain about Mike Tomlin, and we read it, and then I text Tommy, and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy? The Steelers are in the playoffs every year, and he complains about Mike Tomlin. Like, I would take Mike Tomlin today. No problem, yes. And you're complaining. I hate Mike Tomlin. He didn't win the Super Bowl. They're supposed to win the Super Bowl every year. And I'm like, who's with this guy?
It's the real fan. It's the crazy in me, I guess.
Real fan.
The guy just drives you crazy because they get to that point, and then all of a sudden it's a bad,
if you're the real
decision or
fans
whatever
out
he does,
there,
it drives me crazy.
if you're the real fans out there, he should be lucky that you guys can't get rope and wood. You're liable to string them up. And burn them up. Thank you, Will.
It's nothing against Tomlin as a person, though. I mean, I like the guy. I like what he does and what he represents. I just don't like the.
No, but it was funny. The start of last year, John was ripping Tomlin apart, and by about 3 quarters into the season, he was like, "Well, he's actually doing a pretty good job. He's got the team playing pretty well." I'm like,
I was shocked, man. There's times that he just shocks me, and it just makes
This is what happens when you have a successful team.
Yeah.
Okay? When your team plays at a high level all the time, and every year, well, the Steelers are probably going to get to the AFC Championship again for 5th year in a row, or whatever it is. And you're the fan, you expect that certain level. And when they drop, you guys can't handle it. That's why it's good to finish in last place. Anything other than last place, you're fucking doing it. There's no expectations here in Jetwell. Come on.
Oh my God.
That's the wisdom right there. I love it.
I don't have to stay up late on draft night because I know they're picking in the top 5 or 10. It's over. We're getting a good player to ruin. It doesn't matter. It's all good. Man. It's all good.
Oh boy.
But listen, Sean, keep the music coming. You guys. And listen, it's been a long time since we did a roundtable with all the crowd. So I mean, let's stop being lazy out there. Let's do a couple roundtables. Have some fun. Absolutely. And John and Jeff, let's get ready for Sunday Audible coming up pretty soon. Got the football season ahead of us. But I'm expecting some great music out of you, Sean, RFL, and yours, Jeff Westlake stuff. So make sure we get to hear it first right here on the Hard Rock and Sports Show.
Absolutely. Anytime,
We'll
boys.
definitely have it.
Well, listen, guys, John, thank you for spending a little time with us, man. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Sean, had a blast tonight, man. Thank you. Hopefully you guys can come on more often.
Now the travel one's opening up. I get to visit all you guys. Jeff, love to jam with you. John, I'd actually like to, sit down across the table from you face to face. Florio, we'll do New York sometime very soon.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, when you are going to get out to the Pennsylvania area to see John, we're all going to get together because it ain't going to happen very often. One of these days, you're going to have like an RFL reunion or an RFL conference, and you get all Dougie. I got to get Dougie here because I got to rip him for being a Cowboy fan. The whole bed. We got to get the
reason to have him too.
Yeah. We got to pick a point somewhere, Cincinnati, somewhere central location for everybody, and get everybody in for a weekend of just hanging out, having a few beers, and slapping each other on the back because
just clean out my backyard for that, man. Come on over.
I got to get up there to visit you guys, and Sean up too. I mean, Sean's a great guy. I mean, when I started all this, I couldn't even imagine, looking back now, how great of people that are involved. I mean, in all these circles. I mean,
sure.
All you guys right there. You guys know what you mean to me. Like I said, I haven't talked to Sean in a while because I know he's been busy. He's been doing a lot of things, and so have I and Doug. But when he comes back, I mean, it's just like it's hey, the old friend, like a brother almost, and
never skip a beat.
Really cool to have him here. Believe me.
Well, John's right. I am a great guy. No, I'm just kidding.
That's it.
But
it's on his business card that way. It says it. Sean McKenna. He's a great guy.
But I'll do this anytime, and I love if it's Steeltown, if it's New York, wherever we gotta. I think we gotta pick a date and circle it, and
Well,
count
what we
days.
really need to do is get you guys out playing somewhere, so there's an event to show up to, whether it's you guys with Westlake playing someplace or a whole bunch of RFO record showcase and old bands. We need to put that together, John, and I'll leave that to you, but I'll make you a promise. If you put it together, I'm flying in for it.
Yeah, I want to do a festival. I mean, we've talked to a few of them. I have a couple ideas, a couple people that said they'd work with us. That has to happen.
Yeah,
that has to happen. I do want to do that to be able to see everybody and
absolutely. It'd be a nice time. Get a couple of hotel rooms and have a few laughs and tell a few war stories. So, well, I'll leave that to you guys and the RFL. But again, I love you both. I thank you both for coming on.
Love
More
you guys.
often, please. Anytime you can just sit around on a Thursday night, you're always welcome. And Johnny, let's start getting Sunday Audible cranked up and ready to go.
We're ready to roll.
Jeffrey,
boys.
happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being a part of it tonight and hanging out with us, man. Thank you.
Ciao for now.
All right,
man.
boys. Take care.
Jeff, love you, brother. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you,
Call
man.
me Sam. Love you, brother.
Love you, my man. Have a good
Happy
night.
birthday.
Thanks
Happy
for helping
birthday,
out, John. Appreciate it as always.
Later.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
See you, John. Good night. So that's Sean and John, our good buddies, and Jeff. It's a nice way to celebrate the birthday, with friends and all that good stuff. So I'm happy that John and Sean had a minute, actually an hour to spend with us, which was pretty cool.
Oh, listen, that was cool. John's mom said hello. Will Cloak came and
Yeah.
said hello. Leonard Anthony. We had a couple different people pop on and pop in.
Yeah.
And, listen, it's just nice to spend a little time, have a little fun, man. You know the deal.
Yeah, listen, it's something I like to do every year. It's just a nice way to bring people together and chit chat and all that good stuff. So I'm always happy to try to make it work. And
Do I have time to take a squirt break, man?
you absolutely do. You've been good. You've been hanging in the whole time. So go do your thing.
I'll be right
Hard
back.
Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom celebrating the big Jeff birthday here on the Hard Rocket Sports Show. Thanks for tuning in. We still got some more show to do. Not much more. I want to play another. I got one more video to play. We had my dad stop by and say happy birthday, and of course Sean and John from RFL stop by to say hi. So that's always a good thing. And of course, again, and all you guys online who are saying hi to Jeff, I certainly appreciate it. So stick around. We still got some more show to do. We're here every Thursday night, 7 to 9:30. So stick around, and we go watching the Yankees up 5-2 in the fifth inning, up in Boston on a big weekend. It's a big weekend for the Yankees. So you can I won't say cement it, but you can win 3 games here, and you're leaving town pretty much up 16 games. This is about over and done with. So let's see how the Yankees fare out. Already Josh Donaldson grand slam and a back-to-backer with Aaron Hicks solo shot. So Yanks up 5-2, top of 5. Let's see what else we got going on. I might play the Bobby Blitz again. Maybe we'll do that on the way out the door. I got one more birthday video for Jeff, so let's play that now. That he's in the boys who introduced us to Mike and Joe over at the Hemp Wizard, our new best friend. Jeff, we've made a lot of new friends with this show. There's a lot of people that we could say we got to meet and be friendly with.
A lot of down to earth people.
Yes, very much. So I got one more video that I will play for you right now, and then we'll finish up the show with a couple of more topics before we call it a night.
Okie dokie.
Happy birthday, Jeff, from Black Sasquatch. Hard Rocket Sports. Keep it squatchy.
You gotta love those guys. You gotta love
I don't know. Do I have to look under the bed like there's something come into the house?
you're not so sure. Thank you, honey. You're never so sure with the Sasquatch boys. You never know where they're popping up from. So I want to thank Ted and Bob and everybody. They're big fans of the show. They watch every week. I mean, literally every week, and the first ones to like. And I put out a message, and they sent me a video without even asking. So I appreciate all those guys. So
Yeah, they did a lot of cool people, man. A lot of down to earth people.
yes, and that's the best part of doing this is getting to hang out with friends, and I consider all these guys friends. So hey, Jeff, let's do a little. I want to finish up with the the Baker Mayfield thing real quick because we really kind of bouncing around on it a little bit. But you know, I know we joke about it, but I'm kind of dead serious. I would be hard pressed for you to convince me, and I don't know if you would try, that Cleveland may be the worst franchise in the NFL.
Well, they certainly went out of their way to make a strong and thank you, Black Sasquatch, man. It is much appreciated. Thank you. Very nice of you guys to stop in and send a video and spend a few minutes with us, man. We appreciate it. As far as Baker Mayfield goes in the Cleveland Browns, I don't understand. If you're going to look to get a new quarterback and you have a quarterback under contract for like $18 million a year, who had a down year because he was injured,
right?
Don't you try anything under your power to maybe trade that quarterback first before you sign somebody else and then guarantee them over $200 million? I mean, maybe I'm backwards here. I don't know. Maybe that's not the way we do things in the NFL.
Well, I think that's the point of it, is that, you know, you sign the minute you signed Deshaun Watson, all right, you already knew that you didn't want Baker Mayfield back. But by signing Deshaun Watson, you made Baker Mayfield essentially useless and have no value.
Never mind signing Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson. Just talking about the possibility of going after Deshaun Watson has now put you on a course where you could say, like, I have no choice. We have to go further. We can't go back now. We just burned every bridge with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
You know, like we just completely ruined that relationship. As soon as word got out, that was it. It was over. Okay. That's why I can't understand like the logjam that is now going on in Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you're going to tell me that you actually expect Sam Darnold to beat out Baker Mayfield? I would take Baker Mayfield over Sam Darnold any day of the week.
Oh, agreed. Agreed. The problem is they picked up the option on Baker, on Sam Darnold, and now they're stuck with his guaranteed money. So
yeah, I understand that, but I mean they also only paid $5 million or $4 million for Baker Mayfield. I understand all of this, but it's still the thought and idea is, let's just say that Baker Mayfield, now you bring Baker Mayfield in. Now we're talking about the Carolina Panthers right now.
Yeah.
You bring in Baker Mayfield, and then you find out the guy's like got two left arms and he can't throw with either one of them. Okay. Like he just has no arm strength. He can't get out of his own way. He's got his feet are no good. The guy's completely fucking broke. Completely broke. Now you also broke because you got him.
Goodbye.
You also just broke Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Now Sam Darnold has no confidence whatsoever. What do you do now if you are the Carolina Panthers? Right now, I'll tell you the truth, and then you can go on this one.
Yeah.
I think as bad as the situation is with Deshaun Watson, I'd rather be the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson, because eventually he's going to play, and at least you have what you have in quarterback, than to be the Carolina Panthers and have three hopes that one of them is going to be okay. Because that's reminiscent of the New York Jets.
That I agree with. And again, they listen. They had not much of a choice. There was no other pickings out there in the free agent market. Oh my God, he overplayed that, and wow, this is terrible. Boston looks horrendous. Anyway, yeah. Listen, they almost had no choice, Jeff, if you could actually believe that, but to sign Sam Darnold because they didn't sign anybody else. So they were about to go into a season with either a rookie quarterback or another unknown as their starting quarterback.
Carolina?
Yes, Carolina. So
when are you talking about they had to sign him 2 years ago?
Well, they had to pick up his option for this year because they had nobody else.
Listen, they picked up the option because he had 3 good games. In the NFL, if you have a couple good games, you play a couple good quarters, you get a little bit of a courtesy.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with quarterbacks like Sam Darnold. He came on to the Panthers. He played 3 good games. Then he got injured. Okay. He's proven he gets injured every year. He misses time. Same thing with that kid White on the Jets. He had one good game. And a redheaded kid that we're both friends with. You know who we're talking about.
Yes, I do.
Every once in a while I get the inbox from him. I don't understand. How come he's not starting for the Jets? How come this? Why this? Why Wilson? How come not? So because this guy was a fucking also ran.
Yeah.
And how many other teams was he on? They do Wilson's a second round pick. Of course they're going to go with him.
Did you hear the rumor about? I don't know if it's a rumor, but what was said about Mike White? That
No.
the game that he came back and he played horrendous in.
Yeah.
At some point, he walked over to the sideline and told them, "Take me out of the game. I don't want to play. Take me out of the game."
I never heard that.
I heard today for the first time. Today was the first time I heard that. And I guess that's why he's not playing, and he's not the guy who has a chance to start this year.
So then why didn't they just dump him after that?
Great question. Again, I don't know if it's true or not. I heard it in a very reputable place.
Well,
listen,
I don't understand. Maybe wasn't it he injured too or something?
I don't remember him getting injured. No, you're right. He played, and then Adoni got hurt, and then he came back and played another game, and then he was horrendous in it. And
Yeah.
I think what's his name? Joe Flacco had to finish the game.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but listen. Here's the bottom line. I don't want to belabor the simple point. I think both of those teams are screwed right now. I think they both have. Now I know that Carolina drafted Matt Corral. He was the quarterback, I believe, at Ole Miss. I believe they believe he's their future. But you got Baker and Sam Darnold. You said it before, the 1-3 pick from a few years ago. Nobody has any confidence in that. And nobody knows what's happening at quarterback. So much so that I heard a rumor that Cleveland's trying to go out and get Jimmy Garoppolo for a year to play on the team just in case. How crazy is that sounding?
Wow. Oh, man.
Think about if that trade ever happened.
Hey, listen, it's liable to. It's liable to.
Think about it. You brought in Jacoby Brissett. You just gave away Baker by the way, pay $10 million of his salary. You're paying Deshaun Watson one way or the other.
Back up just 1 second about Mayfield, and it was a conditional pick, I believe, too.
I believe what they gave up was a conditional. Carolina had to give them a conditional 2024 draft pick. I guess depending on how much Baker plays, the pick gets better.
Yeah, so they didn't even walk away with a definite pick.
Nope. So they paying $10 million.
In the third rounder, if the guy plays 75% of the offensive, you're getting a second rounder.
Pretty much, yeah. So you pay $230 million for a quarterback that might not play for a year or more. You pay $10 million for a quarterback who's not playing on your team this year, and you got nothing back from a guy after you trade away how many number one picks for your quarterback who might not play. To me, this might be the worst, and could if Deshaun Watson gets suspended for more than a season or even for a season, this could set them back 5 years.
5 years,
yeah,
could set them back way more than 5 years. They already lost out on 3 draft picks, 3 number one draft picks, right?
Yeah, true. I'll agree with that, but so to me, I'm having a hard time even with Jacksonville, even with some of these other teams, Jeff. I'm having a hard time coming up with a team that's a worse franchise than the Cleveland Browns.
Well, right now, Tom, they've been making some very questionable moves.
Right.
Let's see what happens within the next couple months. And if these moves pay off for Cleveland, then they're not going to look so bad. They're going to look like, okay, this was calculated and it worked out for them overall, but we got to see what happens. And I'm going on record as saying we got to see what happens, because this is something completely different. What they're doing, they're paying the money alone that they're shelling out for quarterbacks.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Let me ask you. So watch this. Opening day is Carolina and the Browns.
Oh man,
Deshaun Watson is suspended for the year, and Baker Mayfield comes in, throws 4 touchdown passes, and kicks the shit out of you. How bad is that?
Where are they playing?
Don't know that question. I want to say it's in Carolina, but I could be way off on that. Not sure.
Wow.
There's a couple of those games. I think what's his name? Wilson's going to open up against the Seattle Seahawks this year with Denver. So there's a couple of revenge games, but this one now, while a shitty game, no matter what happens, it's an interesting matchup with Baker going back. Now Baker could be sitting on the bench and we could be watching Sam Darnold play for all we know.
I don't see that, but yeah,
I don't either. But
I hear you. I just don't see that happening. But okay.
all right, so again, that's one we'll follow for sure along the summer. Jeff. So now let me ask you this: is there another big quarterback move out there? I mean, is Jimmy Garoppolo the last one? I mean, it looks like the door's shut on Cam Newton right now.
Well, no, Cam Newton, you never know what may happen with Cam Newton. I think maybe you could maybe see Cam Newton go to maybe New Orleans, maybe as a backup.
Okay.
I know evidently he's not going back to Carolina.
No,
that quarterback room is kind of stuffed right now.
Yeah, I would say if he winds up back in Carolina, there's some issues, man.
Yeah, I think that it's a limited spots where he can go. But then again, he's saying the right things, but who knows if he even wants to play. He's like, I'll be ready. And then RG3 throws his hat in the ring.
Yeah, he's somewhere ready to back up somewhere, I think, right?
No, what he said was that he's ready to play if he's interested in playing. If he gets the right phone call, he'd be into it.
Wow. So,
who the fuck knows what happens with him. But, just interesting to see, like, what happens now with him. If somebody could bother and call him. The Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders at this point in time were looking for into Colin Kaepernick as a backup. Do they look for a backup? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's definitely teams that are still looking. I mean, Cam has not looked well in a long time. I think the last card to be played is if the 49ers actually trade Jimmy Garoppolo, which I can't imagine at this point they're going to do. But to me, that would be the last card I could see played this year from a quarterback standpoint, barring somebody getting hurt.
I don't think Garoppolo, even if he doesn't get traded in the offseason or the preseason, however you want to put it, I don't think Garoppolo finishes the season on the 49ers.
You don't?
No, I think he gets moved.
Do you think he's gone before camp opens?
No, not necessarily. I think in an ideal world, he'll be gone before camp. Well, no, not necessarily gone before camp opens, gone before the season starts. It may be a better way of putting it, because if a quarterback gets hurt in camp, then he's going to be a hot commodity. But I just got a feeling that before the season is over, he's going to go.
Okay. All right. I have my up in the air on that one. I believe, by the way, I sent you the email with Bobby Blitz's message on it for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I just don't think they're ready to turn it over to. I think they're so close to being a competitive team that I think they'd be afraid to move and go to a Trey Lance as my number one guy, and blow it up. You can easily throw your season away with that move. So I'd be a little surprised about that. But to me, that's the last one, barring a major injury. But staying on the quarterback thing before we wrap up the show in a few. Keyshawn Johnson put out his top 5 list of scariest quarterbacks. Now, I'm making it scariest, meaning they're on the field and they scare the crap out of you. So I wanted to get
what side are they scaring the crap out of? The team they play for?
The team they're playing against.
Okay.
So
in other words, this is scaring the shit out of you because they're good.
Correct. Yes. So I'm going to give you his 5. Let me know what you think, and let me see if you have a different top 5.
Okay.
Who would be your scariest top 5 quarterbacks if you were coaching or playing defense? The 5 guys you wouldn't want to see.
Okay.
All right. So here's his top 5 list. I'll give it to you from top to bottom. Ready? Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes.
I'd be scared to find Mahomes.
Josh Allen.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers.
No.
And Kyler Murray.
No.
So I have a problem with it. I mean, first of all, I think Josh Allen should be at the top of the list. Josh
Allen, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
I have no problem with them being 1 and 2.
Okay. Now, so I mean, I got a huge problem with Lamar Jackson, because to me, Lamar Jackson can't be scary because he can't beat anybody, especially in the playoffs.
I agree.
And Kyler Murray, to me, had a nice start to last year and then fell apart. I'm not. Kyler Murray did some nice things, but he does not scare me when he's on the football field.
No, I haven't, and he's not going to scare me this year because of his issues that he's having
Yes,
with the Cardinals.
100%.
No, I wouldn't worry about him. I would say definitely, without a doubt, between Mahomes and Josh Allen, 1 and 2.
Go either way with that one.
Go either way with that one.
Okay.
I'd have to say maybe Matthew Stafford.
I would agree. I would have to agree based on last year. Okay, I won't argue it.
Joe Burrow.
Okay, based on last year, I won't argue it.
Herbert.
Herbert, I would put there for sure.
Maybe Carr.
Okay.
Maybe Carr. I'm going to give you one that you're not going to believe when I tell you.
Good.
I'm going to actually give you 2 guesses who I'm going to say right now.
Well, it's got to be Tom Brady.
No.
Tom Brady's got to be on the list because I know he's not scaring you from a sense of an athletic standpoint, but the guy wins.
Doesn't matter. He's still not on my list.
All right. So who's on the list?
I hate to say this. You're going to laugh. You're going to laugh. Jameis Winston.
Really?
Jameis Winston, man. Come on. The guy fucking threw for over 5,000 yards. Yes, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. Then he comes back on the Saints, new team.
Yep.
Drew what, like 12 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Then he got hurt.
Was having a great year.
Yep.
Up to the point, and then he ended up getting hurt.
Correct.
I got to throw him in there, man.
Wow, that's an interesting one for me. I'd have to really think about that one. It's not dumb, but I don't know. But go ahead.
I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, listen. As far as the NFC East, there's nobody from there. Nobody from the NFC North, really. I don't like Aaron Rodgers, bro. I do not like Aaron Rodgers.
But he wins. That's it. Again, you got to take it from the. I got to take the like out of it. You got to think of if you were playing middle linebacker, you want to face the guy.
You know what? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. He's 38 years old, 39 years old. He is going to become very slow very soon. His release isn't going to be there. Everybody that says that this guy's still great, you're comparing him to the idea of a new Tom Brady. Okay? Look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees was great. All of a sudden, one day, Drew Brees couldn't throw the ball no more.
All right. Listen, it'll happen to all of them, probably.
I know it happens to all of them. We've already seen this happen. Look at Ben Roethlisberger. Guys used to bounce off of Ben Roethlisberger. Okay? What happened? Guy's horrible. Ended up retiring because of it.
Yeah.
And I just do not see a guy like Aaron Rodgers I just don't see him. To me, he's a bitch. I would actually think that Tom Brady may be tougher than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a pretty boy in my eyes.
Again, I am no fan of Aaron Rodgers, but I would say that if you gave me guys you wanted me to stare at or try to come up with a game plan against, Aaron Rodgers and Brady are 2 guys that have to be on my list. I wouldn't want to face those guys in a big game.
Let me put it to you. You know how much I dislike Aaron Rodgers right now? That I would actually consider taking Tom Brady over to Aaron Rodgers.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I really do, because I feel as though what Tom Brady did is Tom Brady left New England, no problem, went to Tampa Bay, won a Super Bowl, retired. Played another year, retired. Came back just in time. No problems, no foul, no harm, no foul.
Right.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers, they draft a quarterback, okay, which he's going to start over you. And it sets off a series of events, which takes how long to play out. I may retire. I don't know if I'm coming back. I don't know.
Playing out, yeah.
Okay, you just couldn't give these guys a simple answer.
Yeah.
Because they drafted a quarterback. You know what? I would have turned around and said to him, I would have said, you know what? Listen, how old are you now? 35, 36 years old? Yeah, we drafted a quarterback. You know why? Because I don't see you lasting that long. So we drafted a quarterback. And you know what he's going to do? He's either going to learn sitting behind you, because he's not going to take over as quarterback of his team. You're the quarterback of his team. And if you don't want to be the quarterback of this team, you could sit there, but you're going to honor that fucking contract, motherfucker. And that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, I just didn't like his. I thought 3 of his, at least 2 of his I didn't like at all. I could have did without Aaron Rodgers, but Murray and Jackson, they're not scaring me. I'm sorry. Maybe from an athletic standpoint, you worry about how to put them on the ground sometimes, but I'm game planning. I'm beating them.
Kyler Murray is a better all-around quarterback than Lamar Jackson, and I do not like the fucking build on Lamar Jackson. He's just not. He's too slight.
Yeah.
I don't see him lasting 7 to 10 years in the NFL. I just don't see it.
Yeah, again, listen, I always say that he guy like that breaks down, and he has so far, and while I think the AFC North is a tough division, I think it takes a little bit of a step back this year. I think Cincinnati will be good. I think Cleveland's not going to be good. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be very good, and I question how good Baltimore's going to be. So, I think that division will take a step back this year.
No, I will say this much about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, okay?
Yeah.
The AFC North, we all know, is a cold division after, into November and December. So maybe having a quarterback that could run the ball is a plus at that point in time. It opens up some more options, but you don't want to see him out there running around. He's going to get killed. He's going to get hurt. And then your whole season could be out the window. But he looks like he's small. He looks like he's a little slight. I don't think he's got the biggest hands. So I don't have a problem come October, well, not November, December, January, having a quarterback that could run that plays in that division.
Mm-hmm.
But he better be able to throw the football too.
I agreed 100%.
If he's going to be a run-first quarterback, and if that team is going to be run-first, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But when called upon, he better be able to throw that ball and throw it accurate. Now, called upon may mean 7 to 10 times a game, 7 to 15 times a game.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be that he's got to throw 40 to 45 passes and be accurate, but you should be able to mix it up and keep them off balance. I don't think that he could do that accurately.
I couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more. And we'll break down a lot more of the NFL on the our show on the 28th when we celebrate our 8th year, and of course do our training camp show we do every year, and then of course on the opening weekend of the Sunday Audible we'll be breaking down football top to bottom. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that. Jeff, John, and I will get together for that one. Maybe for both shows. Who knows? Maybe John will join us and we'll have some fun. Jeff, I got one more story for you tonight before I let you go and start your vacation and your birthday holiday as you celebrate every year. And I'm thankful that I get a chance to celebrate that with you tonight and Sunday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Me too. Warren Sapp came out about 2 weeks ago with a story, and I'm mad at myself and because I didn't pick up on it when it was going on. And it was right after everybody made a big deal about Colin Kaepernick and his tryout with the Las Vegas Raiders that nobody put out a video. Nobody put out a video and said, "Hey, look how he looked," or "Look, here was the tryout. Here's the throws he was making." And Warren Sapp, who I'm not a huge fan of, came out and said, "Did you notice that there's no video? Like nobody was camera phoning or had a over the fence, had a video, or the team put out, or Colin Kaepernick's publicist put it out there because he wanted to show people he could play." He said because what he was told was it was one of the worst tryouts ever, that he was horrendous.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I'm mad because we should have talked about that. The fact that he went for a tryout and not one person came out of there going, he looked great. He threw the ball really well. He could play tomorrow. And we didn't pick up on it. It took Warren Sapp to come out there. And maybe other people saw it. They were just too afraid to say it because of who it is.
Well, the only people that said anything about the way that he played was the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Who said that he was great. He played awesome. This, that, and the other thing.
Then why no video? Nobody put out a video. Said, look at the guy move. Look at him throw the ball. I wonder, and I think this has to be it. This has to be the last tryout. And this has to be the last time he's going to, unless somebody gets hurt, 7 quarterbacks get hurt in the first few weeks of the season. I can't imagine that after this year, anybody's going to give him another tryout.
I can't see anybody giving him another tryout, and not for nothing. I think RG3 saying that he's coming back is a strong indication of which way that's going.
Yeah, I agree.
Why the fuck would anybody be talking about RG3? I mean, Christ, I thought that this guy was gone out of football for a lot longer. I think they said it was 2 years. I was like, holy shit. I thought
he was a backup. Where was he a backup for a bunch of, I think Baltimore.
Baltimore. He was a backup for 3 years. But the point being is that I thought that he was done and gone and finished with football for more like 5 years. And then I find out that it's only like 2 or 3 years that he's out of football.
I would tell you, there's probably been no bigger flame out of a guy who everybody thought was going to be the next great quarterback. No bigger flame out than RG3.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You know what? Because I got to say, what about his partner that got drafted in front of him, Leach?
Oh, yeah. Well,
a couple injuries and that was it. Done.
Yeah, but I guess. But RG3, man, I mean, he came out and people thought he was unstoppable offense. He can make the throws, he can run, you can't catch him, and then all of a sudden, one knee injury and his career was over.
One hit. Listen, first of all, yeah, you're right. It was one knee injury. I remember the knee injury. It was in the playoffs. Yeah. Actually tweaked the knee in the last game of the regular season. Correct. And then in the playoffs, he got hit. His knee folded to the fucking side a little bit. And they kept him in there.
Yep.
Ruined
his career.
Yes.
Absolutely ruined his career.
Yes. And then what was the Andrew Leach, right?
No, Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck. I'm sorry, Andrew Luck. It's another one that was supposed to be in the league for 10, 12 years and done.
But he had at least 5 or 6 years of success. Again, it ended too quick. I agree with you.
Did he even have that long time?
I think so. Yeah, if you check his numbers, I bet you can check his. I'll run it real fast. Let me bring it up real fast.
I'm going to say it was more like 3 or 4 years.
I think it was 5 or 6, but give me 2 seconds. I'll look them up real quick. See what we got. I'll give you his numbers.
So just how many full seasons did he play?
Okay, here it is. Here we go.
We know the numbers. We know what he did. He took a team that was like 1-15 and brought them to the playoffs.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He played 6 full seasons. 1 year, he only played 7 games. He got hurt. And
then there was 1 year he was out the whole year too.
I don't see the. Hold on. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes, you're right. 17. He had no stats for the year 17. So he played 6 seasons. One of those seasons was only 7 games. He's out for the. He was out for 2017.
So he played 5 full seasons.
No. Well, he played 5. Yeah. Well, he played 5 full seasons where he played 16 games, and then 1 season he played 7 games, and then another season he played all.
Okay.
So he had a 7-year career.
I didn't even think he was in the league that long.
Yeah. So he played until he was 29 years old.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So again, again, here's the difference between him and RG3. This guy had some serious numbers. I mean, 23 touchdowns, 40 touchdowns, 50 touchdowns in 7 games, 31, 15 in 7 games.
I thought you said 5-0.
Yeah. So I think I did say it. 31 and 39. So the guy, he put up 23,000 yards basically in 5.5 years.
What was his interceptions? Did he have double digits every year?
All but one. 18, 9, 16, 12, 13, and 15. 83 interceptions in his career.
He was throwing his share of interceptions too.
Correct. Yes. 171 touchdowns to 83 interceptions.
Okay.
So, yeah, again, I just think that RG3 never put up those kind of stats. And then he flamed out, and he might have had 10 years in the league for all I can go back and check.
He definitely had a longer time in the league than Luck. But he was a backup for most of his career.
Yeah. So again, like I said, we got a lot more football coming up as we getting closer. I think I'm gonna start throwing a lot more football at Jeff starting next week. But this week was all about the birthday, and I want to thank my dad for coming on and making sure he was around for this. I want to thank Sean McKenna for Boss Tools and Band Talk. I want to thank John Marhefka, RFO Records, and the Sunday Audible for coming on, spending an hour with us, bullshitting a round table in it, as we call it. So thanks to those guys. Thanks to everybody who checked in online. Thanks for Bobby Blitz for sending a video. Thanks to the guys from Hemp Wizard, the Black Sasquatch for sending his video. For everybody who checked in during the night, I want to say thank you all for helping me celebrate my partner's birthday. And of course, I want to wish my partner a happy birthday and many, many more. And hopefully we'll do a few more of these together on the air. But either way, as long as I get to see him and talk to him every day, it's all that matters. So.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to Sunday. You and your wife coming over on Sunday, and just a little barbecue out in the backyard and hanging out for a little bit.
Looking forward to it. We got it all set up on that end. I got to reach out to your wife for what we're bringing. We'll bring something. We'll figure it out. Worst case,
you don't have to bring anything, man. Just bring you.
I got you. We'll figure that out. But either way,
there must be something wrong because this is the first birthday that I didn't tell my wife I want this or I want that. There is nothing that I can tell her that I want. It's I almost feel bad for her.
You're a lucky man, my friend. You're a lucky man. If you can't think about something that you want to buy for yourself, that means you're a lucky man. You've got it all.
Well, listen, I don't know of anything I want to buy for myself that fitting. I could think of things that I want, but I'm not even going to attempt to tell her because then she'll attempt to get them and they're expensive. So
that's it's always good. Give your wife a break. She deserves it.
Well, listen, I just want to make sure that I don't know, Sharon, if you're listening, but I worry about zombies and I want to make sure my truck is ready in case there's a zombie apocalypse. Hint, hint. I need bigger tires, sweetie. I don't know.
Well, Sharon, I hope you're listening. And if you do, please ignore that whole conversation because it'll just cost you a lot of money. So, but we're happy to do this again. We'll be back next Thursday night. We try it all over again. We'll wish Jeff a great vacation. I'm assuming next week when I say, Jeff, how was your week? He'll say it was great. I didn't work. I played a lot of bass, hung out with my wife, and enjoyed my birthday. So that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, well, listen, real quick. I'm starting my vacation off tomorrow. I got to run to the doctors and get my blood test results. So that's on the other side of the island. And when I get to there, it's right outside Staten Island Hospital.
Uh-huh.
So there's no parking. So now I got to pay $6 right off the bat to park.
Yes, you do.
Then I got to go to the bank and get money so I could get something to eat in the morning. Okay. So I'm going to have to go to the bank first, then go get something to eat. Then I got to come home where there's no parking spots, right? Which could be a pain in the ass. Then I got to get the laundry going. So it's going to be a rough day. And then me and the dog have our routine. The dog does not want to break her routine.
Oh, can't blame her. Can't blame her. Birthdays are not, vacations are not, the dog's got a routine.
Yeah, dude, my wife sends me a picture every Sunday of the dog sitting watching the front door waiting for me to come in. The dog has no eyes,
yes,
by the way, but the dog sits in front of the door waiting for me to come home every week.
Best thing ever, man. I get it every day. I get it every night for my dogs. I get out of my truck and I look in the window and I set my dog up. There's a chair right by the window and he sits on top of the chair. And I come in the door and I come out of the truck and he looks, and he knows it's me, and he starts going crazy, and he jumps off the chair and runs to the front door and waits for me to open the door.
Did you get the new truck in your house?
I do. Well, I have my new work truck, so that I have. So I got 3 cars parked in front of my house now.
What do you got?
Well, I still have my truck. I still have my wife's car, and I have my new work truck.
Okay, so what's going on as far as the old lady? What is she going to
I keep telling her whenever she wants, I will take her to a Ford dealership and we will go and get her car. But she so far has not pushed the issue. So I have to because I want to get rid of my car. So so I make it all happen. We'll wind up with just her car and my new work truck, and I will eliminate a payment from my life and be a happy camper.
Good for you.
So yeah, we're working on it, but that's that's something I still have not reached out to your brother. I have to reach out to him about the Bronco.
I got to be honest with you. I checked out my niece's Bronco.
And
at least not what she had.
Yeah, again, I have no idea, and it's a chick truck. I mean, when I buy it, probably not. But my wife, I parked in front of one right next to one last night. We went out for a quick bite to eat, and it's a nice looking truck. It's not something I would buy for myself, but I whatever. If she's happy, I'm happy. I got my big pickup truck, and I'm a happy guy right now. I'm always wanted a pickup, so I got one now.
Good.
So
Good. That takes about $700 in gas to start.
It's not. I gotta be honest with you. It's not too bad. It's a Chevy Silverado. It's
okay.
1500.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I would tell you, I can't. I haven't figured out yet how much gas it does, but I fill up twice a week, and you know how much driving I do.
Yeah.
And then that's just back and forth to work, and then all around. I don't drive it when I get home. I usually leave it parked, and I'll take my truck for now. Going to work every week, with all the driving I do, it's probably this week was only once, and I put in it's probably about $100 to fill. So I filled up twice last week at $75 each.
You paying for that, or they pay?
The company has an expense account, so it's not too bad on me. But again, I don't drive it for personal reasons. So far, I can't say that. A couple times, I was in front of the house. I didn't feel like walking to the back to get the other car. Jump to the car to go to the store, or go to take a run over my parents real quick. But for the most part, the car's parked, and
it's plain. It's not marked.
It's marked. Yes, it's marked
okay.
up. Yes, yeah. It's got the company lettering on the bottom on both sides. A big mural in the back of the truck. So beautiful truck. I drove driving it. I'm still my parallel parking skills aren't what they used to be. Definitely taking a little time to get used to parallel parking it in the city.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I started getting it now, but it's definitely a chore at this point. But I love driving it. Very smooth truck. I recommend it to anybody. But it's so far so good. But yeah, we got to get her off her ass and get her a new one and move on from the ones we have now. So, but all good. Hefe, it's your birthday show. I will give you the last bit of word. I hope you enjoyed the videos and the people coming on.
Of course, yes. Of course. I think I just used a bingo marker. Oh my goodness me!
But you have the final word, because is that the final word?
I'm looking forward to next week already.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so again, I want to thank everybody for participating. I want to thank Jeff for allowing me to do it, and I want to thank everybody for paying attention to Jeff and I as they do. I look forward to this weekend. Get to see my partner in crime and his beautiful wife. And, of course, I'm off for the weekend, so looking forward to that, especially. And, again, we'll be back next Thursday night to do this all over again. So have a great night, a great weekend, and a great week. And for Jeff Towinski and myself and the entire crew here at the Hard Rock and Sports Show, I say thank you for listening. Thank you for participating, and we'll see you back here next week. Jeff, I love you, brother. Happy birthday to you. And I will talk to you off the air.
Thank you, Tom. As always, it's like having a second brother, man. Thank you.
You're the best, man.
You mean more to me than you know.
I appreciate it, my brother. You're the man.
Another bingo marker.
I'll talk to you off the air.
Later,
man.